sports fans, and welcome to the defining moment brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. This is me, your boy Larry, bringing it to you here on a beautiful Monday morning. It is Monday, July 15th, 2019. And boy, oh boy, do we have yet another wall-to-wall, action-packed edition of the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio. 3 hours of wall-to-wall sports, as I love to say. Here we go, coming at you, not with just one, but two today, with my guest, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. We'll get to him momentarily. Let's get on over to the weekend in sports. So, first things first, there's this little tiny tennis tournament, over there overseas in jolly old England. You might know it as Wimbledon. We had ourselves a second-time winner in Simona Halep. And how about Mr. Novak Djokovic beating the best in the game today, Mr. Roger Federer? Also talking MLS action. We had two pretty damn good games this weekend. The Galaxy will fall to the Quakes in the Cali Clasico. I almost said El Clasico. Oh my gosh, how crazy would that have been? But don't want the soccer fans to get upset at me. What a game there. Atlanta United will show that they're still a tough team, but fall to another previous champion, the Seattle Sounders. Also, NWSL, we have a record audience, ladies and gentlemen. Fourth overall all-time record audience for an incredible game. The Portland Timbers and the Orlando Pride was about as nutty as the Planter Factory. Let me tell you that right now. Also, we have here plenty more to get into. The NC Courage and the Seattle Reign in a kind of forgettable game, but still pretty dang good game for the NC Courage. How about those Red Bulls, y'all? Paint the town red. That's right, the New York Red Bulls get this thing done in the Hudson River Derby, taking the first game of two. Next one is on August 24th. Let's see how it goes down. Also, in the world of auto sports, Kurt Busch, some people say he got slotted last week. Well, he got it done this week in Kentucky, taking out his brother. What a great race to the finish. Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, the Monster Energy vehicle versus the M&M's vehicle. Awesome stuff there. Also, great victory here. We have a little bit of talk about WBC Junior Featherweight Champion Ray Vargas will hold on to his title. We have another guy who's going to get a title. You might as well just give him the freaking title already. Mr. Lewis Hamilton in Formula 1 gets another victory. What's that, 7th or 8th of the season? My gosh, how about that? In IndyCar, Simon Pagenaud will get the victory this weekend. Also, we have a Formula E champion to crown. The Dodgers do great in Boston. What does that mean for the rest of the season? They go up 3 games over the rest of the entire MLB. And, oh yeah, we got a tennis show coming up here on IE Sports Radio coming up in just about a week. We're getting ready for football, y'all. 8 divisions in 8 days in 3 and out is coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in live to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome, sports fans. Well, that was, as we love to do, as I love to do those introductions, it is always a great time here at IE Sports Radio, y'all. We are starting another week. I just want to say last week, y'all, huge shout out to my team, man. Where's my applause button at? What an incredible week last week. 9 shows, tons of listeners, and all of you it was awesome. Everybody had an awesome show. We really appreciate everybody tuning in. And so many great shows last week. If you missed any of them, remember we're available on iTunes, Stitcher, of course, right here on the Spreaker Show Reel. We're available now on Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and soon to be, hopefully if everything goes well, Pandora. So we're rolling on with that. We're now available on YouTube. Gotta get those dang videos up, but at least the podcasts are available on YouTube, so you can check us out there. We're all over the place, y'all. We got our website, of course, and now you can check us out, iesportsradio.com. Show us some love. Jump in our forum. Type up something you like, you want to talk about. Definitely have some fun there. Join us for our mailing list, of course, our email list, our newsletter.
And we'll getting some of those up pretty soon. I have a really cool idea coming up actually I'll let you guys know in a few, probably about mid-show, but what it's going to be about. So we got that good stuff there going on. I mean, y'all, this is fun. We have ourselves one heck of a thing going on here at IE Sports Radio. So we really appreciate every one of you tuning in each and every week. As I always say, all glory to God. Nothing is possible without him. Nothing is possible without God. Not you, not me, not nobody. Not IE Sports Radio, nobody, nothing. So, as I always say, all glory to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, we are nothing. And of course, big shout out and all kinds of love to you, our listeners, because without y'all, we are nothing either. Trust me, there is no IE Sports Radio without you, the listeners. So we appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for showing us love. And we couldn't appreciate y'all more. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, we have ourselves yet another action-packed, wall-to-wall 3 hours of sports coming at you. Trust me, you're gonna like it, alright? Some of you may think, well, I mean, trust me, I know some of you feel that, oh, yeah, it's really long, but for the majority of the time, I know that a lot of you, if you listen to the podcast, you chop it up into days throughout the week. If you listen live to the whole thing, well, you're awesome. I mean, however y'all do it, we appreciate it. But it's a fun show every week. Coming up next week, don't know exactly how it's going to go. It's going to start getting kind of dicey here because 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days does return. Coming up next week. So AFC week starts next week, then AFC week, then NFC week after that. So 32 teams, y'all, in just 8 days. It's going to be awesome. And then, of course, the preseason starts up, the Hall of Fame game, the last show for the NFC South on August 1st. The Hall of Fame game will be that night. Then we have, the Hall of Fame weekend, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. After that, August 7th, every Wednesday until the week after the Super Bowl, we will have 3 and Out, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 hours of craziness. A recap of the week before, a preview, and our picks for the upcoming week, and of course, 3 primetime face-offs where one fan takes on the other for all primetime games, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, and a Monday Night Football. Oh, it's always a great time on 3 and Out, and I'm so excited to get this show back on and ready for that. Also, 3 and Out College Edition every Sunday starting August 18th, 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Always a fun show there. Myself, Mr. Christian Espinoza, and Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and of course, big shout out to all my colleagues for 3 and Out, the NFL one, the NFL edition, Mr. Mike Pat, Mr. John Felipe, and Mr. Kylan Reynolds. Kylan Reynolds will be joining us in about 20 minutes here, half past the hour, to talk about some NBA Summer League and some NBA free agency, as well as I got to mention Mr. John Felipe, half of the Brothers Blue on YouTube. We also put those videos up there on our IE Sports Radio account, but check them out. And also, Mr. Mike Pat, the chief editor of the IE Sports Radio blog. Check him out on WordPress, of course. He was formerly at Mike's All Sports blog, but now it is the IE Sports Radio blog. And check it out on our website at IE Sports Radio. Check out all of his awesome writing. If any of course, hopefully more of our colleagues want to start writing for our blog, that'd be awesome. But for right now, Mr. Mike Pat's hold it down. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and introduce today's guest host. I don't know, maybe we can make this a long-term thing, because he definitely knows the sports. Great to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming one of the newest members of IE Sports Radio. He's been with us for about, a little bit over a month, or right around a month, right around there. Somebody can clarify that for me. But, awesome to have him aboard. Ladies and gentlemen, he is 1/3 of the bases loaded here on IE Sports Radio. Him and Mr. Brandon Buckingham and Mr. H-Town Blake Henley will be coming at you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Bases Loaded to talk about some baseball. Lots going on in the baseball world. Today we're going to get into some baseball, not as deep as they're going to be. That's why the show is like the sampler tray, y'all. You get a little bit of something for every show. But if you want more of it, way more of it, trust me, we got a show for pretty much almost everything. So, check it out. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, of course, he's a part of the IE Sports Radio family, proud member of the IE Sports Radio family, proud member of the Bases Loaded team here, the Bases Loaded family, and proud writer. I mean, this guy does so much, man. Covers lacrosse. He can go ahead and verify his outlets right now, but Awesome dude. And hey, soon to be a Long Beach State alum. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. How's it going, man?
It's going great, Larry. Great to be on here. Good morning, sports fans. Happy Monday to you all. It is a great week of sports as we are going to recap everything that happened last week, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, you and me both, man. Great to have you aboard today, man. I'm glad you agreed to do the show.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, well, it was great to have you. We have ourselves so much to get into. Like, seriously, we have so much to get into right now. Like, it is a plethora of sports, so we love to do exactly that and enjoy ourselves. And you know what, y'all? It's just, it's the world of sports that we live in. So we're always excited for that. With that said, let's see. Oh, we got ourselves somebody in the chat room already. Let's go and get on over there. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Ben Sutter III, y'all? BS3 Sports. Big shout out to Ben, man. Great guy as always. Doing a great job over there doing his thing, man. Over there for the X Squad, I actually I gotta make our little page. I'm having a IE Sports Radio partners page on our website pretty soon here, where I'll be posting a lot of these awesome shows. You can catch them as well. Check out Mr. Ben Sutter III, man. This guy covers everything as well. Awesome stuff, man. Great interactive chat room. Just a great show that you definitely want to hear. You hear his drops all over our shows here, and always just a great job by Mr. Ben, man. So big shout out to Mr. Ben Sutter III in the chat room, man. What's going on, brother? Hopefully you're doing great, man. Have a great week. God bless you and your family. So, with that said, all right, Mr. Terrence. So, first things first, man. We will get to Mr. Let's see. We will get to Mr. Kylam coming up in just a little bit here. But hey, man, it's a morning show. Well, it's maybe on the afternoon over there. Some people are listening right now on their drive to work. Some people already got to work. Some people are, just hanging out at work, tuning in. Some people are on their lunch break over there on the East Coast or getting close to it. I mean, hey. It's always a fun thing to know that we got all kinds of people listening all over the place, and it's really, really super neat to kind of be, a part of their morning. So, with first and foremost, Mr. Taryn, how you feel, man? How you feel today? How you getting ready to talk all sports? Your first time on this show, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, and this is actually going to be my second time on this show, considering I was a part of your show like a little past, in the middle of June when I first joined the IE Sports Radio family. And I talked a little baseball with you, but I am excited to be here. Shout out to everyone who's listening. Please support IE Sports Radio, whether it's following us on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all that good stuff. And shout out to my brother, Justin Rodriguez, who is tuning in to this show while he's working at Accurate Background in Irvine. So if you're listening, Justin, that shout's for you.
Hey, you go, man. Big shout out to Mr. Justin. Give him the applause, man. Hey. Big shout out to Mr. Justin Rodriguez. And hey, man, if you're listening, enjoy the show. And everybody else listening right now who said enjoy the show. That's right, Mr. Taryn. I did have you on the show for a segment. But hey, let me go ahead and clarify. This will be your first time as a full-timer.
Yep.
So,
yes.
Pretty awesome there. We're looking forward to another great show, man. So before we start the show, man, any craziness from this week you just want to, because I like to get a little bit, as you heard the preview of the show right there. We're going to get into all of it later in much depth, but my gosh, man, overall, all in all, this weekend in sports, man, what were you liking the most this past weekend?
Well, for starters, on Friday, I saw that the Angels pitched a no-hitter to the Seattle Mariners, which was definitely impressive. I mean, I know it's the Mariners and they're having one of their down years, but honestly, that was a very good tribute to Tyler Skaggs, and no-hitters have been rare for the Angels, let alone shutting out opponents. Like, prior to that game, the Angels have had one shutout game. They've only shut out one opponent from this year prior to that no-hitter. So you have to give it up for the Angels on that one. They also swept the Mariners. Yesterday they were down 3-1, but they managed to rally back. I believe it was Matt Matt Thies that hit a 3-run homer to break a 3-3 tie, and that was his first ever professional home run. So that was very impressive. You know, the Angels are going to need all the wins they can get, considering it's only going to get tough from here on out. Especially with today, they face the Houston Astros in the start of a 4-game series at Anaheim. So it's going to be interesting, especially with how Marisnick's going to be coming to Anaheim and how the Angels fans might treat him.
Yeah, and by the way, y'all, I just got to give that applause, man. I mean, really, Tyler Skaggs, as I gave a moment of silence last week, rest in peace, brother. We love you. Everybody, Angels Nation, Halo Nation, whichever you want to call it, we love you. Incredible game last Friday. You can't script it. You can't. I didn't know that his birthday was on Saturday, and of course it was the 13th. After the game, it was an incredible, just something you can't, my gosh, if it didn't hit your heart, it had to have. It was incredible seeing these guys. Everyone wore the 45 jersey. His mom goes out there, delivers one heck of a first pitch, in my opinion. That woman just launched that ball to Heaney for the first pitch of the game, and it was incredible. So I think she did like a little brief prayer when she walked off the mound, and it was incredible. They put up his jersey on an easel. They framed it and put it on an easel. Number 45 was etched into the pitcher's mound, and his family went out there. His wife, his mother, his father, and I think his brother. Not sure who that the other gentleman was, but they went out there and so forgive me for that. But they all. A few of them, or all of them, wrote something in the mound by his number, and it was incredible. After the game, they go up 7-0 in the first inning. The final score was 13-0. It was almost a perfect game except for one walk in the 5th inning, from what I heard in the afterwards from the announcers. And my gosh, incredible job. Benya delivers that last, I don't know if it's a strike, but delivers the last out of the game. And he was the last pitcher on the mound. That is. But I think it was out at first base is what the end of the game was. But still, incredible job. Then after that, every Angels player will then take off their jersey and go to the mound and lay it down over the jersey, all except for over his number 45. And just a special. Then they took a picture, and it was just an incredibly special moment. After that, you heard Mike Trout and Heaney talking in the press conference, and Trout was saying that, his birthday is tomorrow, the 13th, 13-0. It's true. You just can't. It's God. And that's all I got to say about it. Deeply religious man, so or spiritual. It's God. That was incredible. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Beautiful game, and just a beautiful moment. And what a way to pay tribute to, as they said after the game, I forgot who they interviewed, but they're angel from above right now, watching over them. So looking down on them, watching them play baseball now, and it's just awesome to know that he's with them. That guy's looking down on you when you're playing, and he's with you guys on that field. So Angels fans out there, just one more time, incredible. Definitely not one more time forever, but one more time for the show here today, and huge applause. Just incredible thing that happened this past weekend. And then, of course, the Angels will sweep the Mariners. They win on Saturday on Mr. Skaggs' birthday. Skaggsy, as they call him, on Mr. Tyler Skaggs' birthday. And then after that, they would go on to win yesterday, sweep the Mariners, and now it's time for the Houston Astros to come on over. But this past weekend, I think it was last week, we played the Astros, and now in Houston, and now they're coming on over to Anaheim. So should be a great series. I'm looking forward to that. But yes, certainly, Mr. Taryn, what a remarkable moment that was on Friday night, and then just what a great series, and overall just what an incredibly touching series. And this last couple of weeks has just been it's been really sad. But yeah, overall, Mr. Taryn, your thoughts on the remainder of this entire weekend for Mr. Tyler Skaggs and the Angels?
Well, once again, a big shout out to Taylor Cole and Felix Pena for combining for that no-hitter. Those two were instrumental, and I'm glad they were able to keep the no-hitter intact. And like you said, it was almost a perfect game. If it weren't for that one walk, it would have been a perfect game. And, no-hitters in perfect games are very rare to come across. The Tampa Bay Rays almost had a perfect game, and then one of the Orioles players broke it up. But as for the Angels-Mariners, it was definitely a touching moment, especially on Friday, getting that no-hitter. And, I hope the Angels can use that as motivation going forward, considering, like I said, they need all the wins they can muster up as possible, considering they're still behind the Rangers, the Red Sox, the A's, the Indians, and the Rays in the AL wild card. So hopefully the Angels can make a bit of a run. The Astros are going to be a bit tough, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
No, you're absolutely right. And while we're on the subject of baseball, come on, Mr. Taryn. I know you're in half. I'm on one side, not a Dodger at all, but I'm definitely an Angel. But I will show up to the Dodgers every now and then. But I'm not gonna not give credit where credit's due. But while we're on the topic, talking some baseball, man. This last week, Darren, how about these Los Angeles Dodgers, man? Friday night, the Red Sox went off. The Dodgers had no answer. The next night, I remember in our community, in the IE Sports Radio community on Facebook, you actually wrote to me in there and you commented on one of my posts about the Dodgers, and you were like, nah, man, Sale. I was like, no, Sale's, the best, right now. Over, and you're like, not really. He's like, homeboy hasn't, done very well. And I'm like, no, watch. Red Sox got this sucker. And, dude, sure as can be, 11-2? The Dodgers just blow this one up and destroy the Red Sox. And last night, we needed 12 innings to figure this thing out. But my gosh, went 12 innings, in the top of the 12, 3 runs scored by the Dodgers, and just what an incredible game. It would fight back. Dodgers would go up early. Red Sox would fight back, tie this thing up in the 8th or something like that. And we'll get the stats for you right now. I'll go and look on my ESPN Score Center app. But real quick, what a great game. And the Dodgers now, man, they're now 3 games over the rest of the league. Of course, the Yankees and the Astros are closest to them with 59 wins. The Dodgers now have 62 wins. They lead the MLB, of course, by 3 victories or 3 wins, and they're now 62-33 on the season, and the MLB's best current record at the moment. How about this, man? They're leading the NL West by 14 games. They are just getting it done right now. Dodger baseball, a reason for them to smile. But, of course, we know that it all counts in October, but let's see what they do there. As of right now, looking pretty good. Taryn, how about these Dodgers?
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see that the Dodgers would take 2 out of 3, considering if you all listen to Bases Loaded, I picked the Red Sox to win 2 out of 3. Because I thought the Dodgers were not the best away team, because they've struggled on the road for a majority of the season. But to take 2 out of 3 in Fenway is pretty incredible. And on Saturday against Chris Sale has not been his best. So at first I had the same mentality as you did when it came to Chris Sale, Larry. I thought Chris Sale was the best, and I thought he was going to just dominate on Saturday. And I admit, I did say that on Bases Loaded last week. I thought the Red Sox were going to take games 2 and 3, and the Dodgers were going to take games 1. But apparently that was inversed. The Dodgers lost game 1, but bounced back in games 2 and 3. Game 3 was very interesting. The Dodgers were up 4-2, and then in the 8th inning, like you said, the Red Sox get back-to-back home runs, and honestly, when I was looking at the game, I was thinking, the Dodgers are gonna choke this one away. And Dylan Floral was kind of struggling in the 11th inning, but he was able to get out of a bases-loaded jam. Luckily he got that last out. And Hector Velasquez in the 12th inning really struggled. He gave up a bunch of base hits. The bases were loaded with no outs, and eventually the Dodgers get a run off of a walk. So Hector Velasquez really kind of underachieved that game, and it could have gone so much better for the Red Sox. And at this point, the Red Sox definitely need all the wins they can get, considering they're trying to catch the Yankees. But, in a grand scheme of things, they definitely need to at least get into the playoffs. And I can expect the Red Sox to make some trades before the trade deadline, considering they want to defend their title, and no team probably wants to play the Red Sox, especially not in Fenway. So the Red Sox, to me, will need to bounce back and to possibly just make some trades over the deadline, because they're not where they want to be right now, especially since I think they're trailing the A's in the wild card race, and that kind of says a lot about the Red Sox's slow start. And when you start slow, it's kind of tough to get out of that funk. So, but I could see them ambling right along in the wild card.
I was talking to Mr. Alexander Gaines yesterday. You'll think of, you might hit him on the show for Bases Loaded. He's one of the founders. This on the season. But I was talking to him last night after the game. He called me right after the game ended, and I was like, "You upset about this?" I was like, "I'm upset." And he's like, "Well," "Why?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not a Dodger fan, I was being a fan, And he was like, "Hey, man, what do you expect?" He's like, he's like, "Our pitching right now is just not where it needs to be." He says, "Our field they're just not. No one's really giving it." Basically what he was saying is the bats are just, they're there, but they're not, and the pitching is just there. The pitching just isn't there this year. And he says, what can you say, man? It's a World Series hangover. He says, now it doesn't count now. He says they can have it now, but if the Red Sox were to pull this thing together and get it going in October and do it again, he says, you know what? Hey, that's where it counts. But they got to get there first, as you mentioned right now, Mr. Terrian. So, what do you think about that? Do you feel that his statements on the Red Sox right now are absolutely correct?
Yeah, definitely, considering, as Blake Henley would say, baseball is a marathon. It's a 162 game season, and then anything can happen. Lots of teams have their peaks and valleys, their highs and lows, and the Red Sox are no exception. So honestly, I think the Red Sox still have a shot at making the playoffs. But, I think they got to look at the grand scheme of things again, like I said, and just try to at least make the wild card, because, the Yankees are playing really great as of late. Other than their pitching, the Yankees are really looking strong. They're winning games that people don't think they should win, and even though they haven't been at full strength, the Yankees are just rolling right along. So the Red Sox have definitely have their work cut out for them. They definitely need to get the ball rolling. Again, maybe acquire some better pitchers, because Hector Velasquez, like I said, has an ERA of 5.6, and he's only 1-3. So to put him in against the Dodgers again when their rotation was 3, 4, and 5 to start the 12th was a little questionable. But it's still a long season. We're at the halfway point of the season, and honestly, it's nowhere near over for anyone.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's these Dodgers, man. It's halfway through the season, as you mentioned, and you know what? They're playing dang good baseball. I can't, even me, as you would call a Dodger hater, as an Angels fan, hey, I love the sport no matter what, and I respect all teams regardless of rivalry and all that. But I'll tell you right now, man, this team is on fire. They're playing great baseball, and what more do you want? Jansen got in there last night, got this thing done. Through extra innings, these pitchers are getting it done. He stayed in there the whole time, right? For extra innings, or if I'm not mistaken, did he get pulled out?
I believe he got pulled out. I said, Dylan Floro took over, and then Joe Kelly finished up the game. And just like Velasquez, Joe Kelly has a pretty bad ERA. 5.4 runs are allowed. So, and a lot of Dodgers fans out there aren't really too fond of Joe Kelly. So for him to come in and not allow any runs in the bottom of the 12th inning, that's pretty incredible for Joe.
Hey, man. Joe Kelly, a product of Riverside, California, just saying, right here in my home, a school that is not even, 20 miles away from where I live. UCR, of course. Go Highlanders, except for when they play my CBU Lancers, which, of course, can't wait for the Crosstown Showdown coming up this year. I'm so excited for that. Game 2, we took the last one, but ready for this next game coming up this year. But Yes, I am half of me is a Highlander. A little bit, because I will cheer them on, of course. Big shout out to Mr. Jeffrey Gorham, a part of the IA Sports Radio team here as well. The color commentator, him and Mr. Pep Fernandez. Last year it was awesome going to the game for my birthday last year. They got us tickets. Super cool to go to the Highlanders, Highlanders basketball game there. But hey, big shout out to the Highlanders. But hey, Joe Kelly playing there. Product of Southern California, going on over to the Red Sox, playing with them up until last year, and Joe Kelly ends up on the Dodgers, coming back home to Southern California. But it would kind of bother me to say that he's not liked by at least some of the Dodgers fans, because, come on, man, he's a hometown boy. I know he was a Red Sox, but still, you know what? Let it go. He's part of your team now. He is a product of Southern California. So you know what? I think he went to Corona High School or maybe somewhere. I have no idea. Somewhere around here. But he was definitely he's definitely a legend down here in Southern California, at least to us Southern Californians, because he's a guy that made it. So big ups to Joe Kelly. So anyway, with that said, y'all, we're gonna take our first break of the morning or the afternoon, depending on where you're listening from on the East Coast over there, or maybe even throughout the day for you if you're listening somewhere else. We appreciate y'all. We know we get listens all over the place. Big shout out to everybody in the UK, by the way, if you're tuning in, of course, and big shout out to everybody all over the place. Of course, big shout out to Mr. Yukio Ueda, I believe. Mr. Yukio Ueda. I don't want to butcher his last name, but awesome guy, man. Yukio, if you're listening, man, big shout out to you, brother, over there in Japan. So, of course, got a huge fan over there in Japan, so always love to y'all. I know it's probably the wee hours in the morning over there right now, but if you're listening to the podcast, big shout out to Mr. Yukio, man. Have a great week, and God bless you, sir. So, with that said, let's go on ahead and take our first break of the morning. When we come back, we will be talking NBA Summer League and NBA Free Agency with Mr. Colin Reynolds, and of course some WNBA action. Last week, y'all, the Las Vegas Aces brand new team, brand new franchise team, brand new expansion team, just coming on in to the WNBA this year, and they're number one in the West. They took on number one in the East, the Washington Spirit, team that made it all the way, I think, to the semis last year. And, well, actually, I don't know if it was the semis or it might have been the finals. I think they got all the way there. But, of course, Miss Sue Bird and her Seattle Storm, man, what a team that is. We'll talk about them, of course, coming up. So, we will talk about some WNBA, NBA Summer League. Of course, the finals tonight, as a matter of fact, y'all. Grizzlies, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the I know for sure the Grizzlies are playing in Minnesota Timberwolves. Thank you, Mr. Terrence. See, I love that, man. My right-hand man right here. I love it. Great stuff. So, tonight we got the final going on here. We'll talk to Mr. Colin Reynolds about all that good stuff, NBA free agency, and the craziness that it is as of right now. So, with that said, y'all, hang tight. Enjoy a couple of drops, of course, from all kinds of great shows here at IA Sports Radio, and other great shows you can hear that aren't a part of the IA Sports Radio network, but hey, great places, of course, the X Squad, and lots of other places there. So, with that said, y'all, that is that, and when we get back at WNBA and NBA action, you are listening to The Defining Moment right here on IA Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Drivers, start your engines. Auto racing takes many forms, from the close quarter contact of NASCAR
to the high-speed, high-risk atmosphere of IndyCar,
all the way to the pinnacle of technology with the Formula One World Championship.
No matter if you prefer the high banks of Daytona,
the concrete canyons of Long Beach,
or the flowing curves of the Nürburgring,
the international language of motorsports is simple. Go fast,
run hard,
and come home first.
So join us, myself, Darrell Kinsey Jr.,
Lolita Camello,
and Michael Ward,
on a world tour of all the best motorsports has to offer on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, only on your home for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You gotta check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Good day, folks. Yours truly, Nico Green here, reminding you, tune in to the Neutral Zone Hockey Talk Radio Show, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, proudly brought to you by IE Sports Radio. It's the Neutral Zone. All hockey, all the time. Take care. See you soon.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development, but we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest donors. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
What up, all you boxing fans? This is Vince Wright, the sports governor, and me and Gilbert Batista are the host of Ringside on IE Sports Radio. Make sure you keep it tuned to IE Sports Radio, Spreaker.com for the latest edition of Ringside. All the boxing news you need right here. Keep it tuned, Spreaker.com, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome back all of y'all out there showing love. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for jumping on in here today and listening to us, showing us some love, jumping in live in the chat room, of course, if you're listening. And if not, hey, join us, y'all. Join us in the dang chat room. Show us some love. Let's have some fun talking the sports we love. We are now here today, of course. As you know, I'm joined by Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. Say hello to the listeners, man.
Hello, listeners. How are y'all doing? Happy Monday once again. Thank you all for tuning in. And please follow us on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. It definitely helps the channel, not just for the defining moment, but it helps everyone that's pouring their hearts into this station. So please support IE Sports Radio.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Taryn, for that. And, of course, all you diehards out there, we appreciate you all. As I always say, hey, all glory to God. Without him, nothing is possible, and of course, without y'all, nothing is possible. You listeners out there, without, of course, you guys, IE Sports Radio is impossible. Of course, without God, IE Sports Radio is impossible either. But we gotta, show some love to all you listeners out there, and of course, always the man above. So with that said, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, how about this, man? We have some craziness going on in the NBA, and you know something? We got somebody here that loves some NBA action. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Saints Gumbo himself, the Fat Mac, Faith and Trials Mac Christian. I love it, man. I love it. Great time always having him on here. And what can I say? He's ready to talk some basketball. And my gosh, in about a week's timing, because once again, 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days begins next week. So he's ready for some football, and he's always ready for some basketball and football. So, ladies and gentlemen, what can I say, man? We're just talking baseball. As I mentioned, he's a Cubs fan. So, as I mentioned, Mr. Taryn, glad to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming proud member of the Defining Moment team, proud member of the 3 and Out team, and proud member of the IE Sports Radio family. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Mr. Colin Reynolds. What's going on, Colin?
Hey, what's going on, Larry? What's going on, family? How y'all doing today, man?
Real good, brother. Real good. It's been a great day so far. We got ourselves a good show going. 42 minutes into the show. We already got some baseball talk this morning. Time to jump on in to some hoops. First things first, Colin. NBA summer has been quite the interesting tournament. Great games all over the place. We got to see Zion in action. I seen him shoot a ball from half court. I seen him shoot I didn't see it, but I want to go look at it. Apparently he shot a ball from the bench. This guy's just shooting balls from everywhere. Zion, man, getting down. Of course, getting ready to play his first NBA season. And of course, some others that are really, I think that are making a name for themselves in the Summer League. So first things first, Colin, we're going to hand it to you first, man. Give it to us. What are your thoughts so far on some standout players? We'll talk about teams momentarily, but standout players that you've really seen so far, really grow and mature in just the 15 days that has been the NBA Summer League.
Well, Larry, we have a couple. I don't know, we may not have time to get into all of them, but the one person that stood out to me like big man status is Tyler Herro from Miami Heat, out of Kentucky, man. Guy came out of Summer League, ran hot. I mean, Miami Heat, he was on fire. But what I like to see from the Summer League is not just what you can do on the court, but also off the court. He was vocal. He was real vocal. He took leadership in as some of the games, as you get to the end of Summer League, if they're out of pool play, some of your better players they sit out, and he set out the last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, and they was talking to him on the bench. They was going to him for advice, more of like coach, not a coach, but like a player, mentor type thing. That was great. Tyler Herro was great with the Jimmy Butler fit. I don't know if he's going to start or come off the bench, but he's going to be great. Jimmy may take him under the wing, show him some professionalism. That'd be great. One pick. Well, this next man, sleeper. This man sat in the green room for the entire draft night, and people worried about his injury history and worried about his big frame not holding up. But Summer League, he showed that he was a grown man. I'm talking about Taco Fall. This guy for the Boston Celtics, he played lights out defense. He's moving his feet real swiftly. I mean, he's not as agile because of the 7'3" frame. 8 feet wingspan. I mean, hey, how agile you expect him to be? But I mean, he showed versatility on the defensive end, switching, and that was big for me. because if you were under the basket, a 7-foot person, then you were able to cover not just with a wingspan, with your feet to get to the free throw line, and to be able to not just adjust but adapt to get in defensive position. And you know he can do it. He can finish on the rim. I mean, he badly has the dunk slammed off the ball. You know, so tackle fall was good. And then third person, I cannot not mention Summer League of basketball without mentioning my New Orleans Pelicans. We know Zion, about 12 minutes, 9 points, little knee bump. He was good. But I'm talking about this split person out of Virginia, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the cousin of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He 17 overall pick to the New Orleans Pelicans. This dude took us by storm. He came in after about the first week or so. He had to wait till the Anthony Davis trade was complete, and him and Jackson Hayes came into the summer league, and they made their stamp of approval. But this guy, I see him making Frank Jackson expendable. I think that Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to be great for us off the bench starting, but hey, I think this guy has a lot of upside, and three different players, 3 different games. He can play. Nickeil Alexander-Walker play offense and defense. And Tyler Herro just wet from down and 3, and then tackle fall, just showing us why he should be where he's at, man. And we just gotta really just pay attention to not just the dynamics on the court, but off the court. You know, we gotta see who's gonna step up when the numbers call, Larry. I was disappointed in the play by R.J. Barrett. I have to mention that. I just think that him wanting to be he had a little rumors going into the draft that he should be just as number one. Not talking about Zion's not worthy of number one, but he's saying his talent is number one capability, talent, and not efficient at all. Generosity, keep shooting, young man, keep shooting. But when you're playing in a franchise that's trying to have upside and create an inviting atmosphere, don't keep shooting if you're not efficient. So that's my summer league thoughts.
I like it, man. So there you go, y'all. Mr. Colin Reynolds and why he speaks so fluently in NBA. Great stuff there from the gentleman who you have mentioned. Really, man. I mean, right now those are some ups and downs, and I love it, man. I can't wait to see these youngsters get out there and start playing coming up this year. And, get into the actual league, let's see how they get it. I love the Summer League. I really do. The Summer League is something that I've just always really enjoyed because, my gosh, man, this is going to prove who's going to the G League, who's going to, who can find themselves a spot on the roster. It's a great way to see your young talent get out there. It's kind of like I love it because it's not a preseason. It's not a tune-up game where you have to share with, the veterans. It's a league where you can enjoy, the youngsters all playing out there without even the veterans having to be there or anything like that. These guys are out there getting their chance to really showcase their talent, and, who knows? I mean, other teams are looking too. I mean, trades, they could be involved in future trades. However it goes, man. I mean, the Summer League is just awesome. So, I mean, all in all, yeah, Kyle, I love it, man. Great stuff there. Mr. Taryn, any thoughts on the Summer League?
Well, as Colin just said, Taco Fall of the Boston Celtics is really good. Like, I think that might have been the steal of sign of the year right there. I mean, honestly, he's like 7'6". He's not like big, and he's not too like lean either. He's not too skinny. He's not too big. He's perfect. I mean, and honestly, I think the Celtics kind of need a big man, and if he can stay healthy, the Celtics definitely can prove themselves as a contender in the East, because ever since Kawhi left the Raptors, now the East is wide open. I mean, obviously there's the Bucks with Giannis, but honestly, the Celtics really, really struck gold, and I can see the Celtics actually contending for a title next year. I mean, it's too early to say that, but, Taco Fall definitely was a key sign. And then also from the Memphis Grizzlies, I saw Brandon Clark has been dominating as well. He's impressed me as well, and he had, like, the game-winning dunk with it. with like 23 seconds in overtime to give the Memphis Grizzlies an overtime win in the semifinals in order to advance to the finals, where they'll take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. So hats off to Brandon Clark. He's kind of like a double-double machine. He had 23 points and 14 rebounds yesterday. I think in the quarterfinal game against the Celtics, he had 18 points and I believe 10 boards or 12 boards, something like that. So I definitely got to give it up to Brandon Clark on that one. You know, Grizzlies are obviously like rebuilding, and they're obviously trying to find their sea legs, but I think the Grizzlies have some potential. You know, they're going to be young, but they're still dangerous. And the one thing that did disappoint me a little is that Taco Fall didn't like. He only got to play 7 minutes, and he only had 2 points. I don't know if that was a coach's decision, or he only had 2 personal fouls, or hopefully he didn't get injured. But, you know, I was a little puzzled to see Taco Fall not getting a whole lot of playing time, considering I think he has potential. He definitely could be the next Ben Wallace if he plays his cards right, because Ben Wallace went undrafted, and look at him. He turned out to be an NBA champion, and he turned out to be one of the best defensive big men, despite being only 6'9". So Taco Fall's got a bright future, and the Memphis Grizzlies have a bright future. And I'm normally not the guy to speculate Summer League games, but, you know, I like the Summer League just as much as you guys do, considering the Summer League definitely it's kind of like a dress rehearsal for some of these rookies, or a final cut in order to make the team. So honestly, you know, hats off to the NBA Summer League. Just because you win the Summer League doesn't mean you're going to win the NBA championship. You know, it's just something to have on your have for these rookies and all these youngsters, just so they're not getting rusty and all that.
Well,
but I also could see the New Orleans Pelicans being good next year with Zion and all those acquisitions. So yeah, the Pelicans struck gold as well.
The Pels, we definitely have a big Pels fan on the line right here, man, Mr. Callum Reynolds. But I'll tell you what, this is absolutely tonight. Of course, we got the final game, 6 p.m. I believe, 6 p.m. Pacific time. 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, that is the time on ESPN2. Grizzlies, they went 5-1. Timberwolves, they went 6-0. Let's see how they do, y'all. Tonight, we got both those teams going head-to-head in the Summer League Final. And after that, well, it's the long vacation. Oh, maybe not too long, but all through August, all through September. But hey, actually, no. I mean, they'll be right back at it coming up in September. I mean, at the very end, very beginning of October, preseason begins. And, well, we have, guys doing this, doing that. The traveling begins, and we shall see who does what. But really excited for, this game tonight. I'm going to try and catch, as much of it as I can. But Memphis and Minnesota. Real quick, Colin, we'll bounce it back to you, man. What do you like from these two teams? Why are these two teams here playing this game tonight?
Well, Memphis is there because they all play my Pelicans, they're young, but they feel that they need that, they feel the need sense of urgency because it's a young team. They trade a lot of picks for assets. And who they play? I don't know who they play. Who they play?
They're playing the Timberwolves. You guys, of course, that crazy overtime game yesterday, man. You guys won the overtime. Right. Incredible job, man. Grizzlies win this thing 88-86.
I haven't watched the Timberwolves game. I haven't watched the Timberwolves Summer League game. My apologies for that. But Memphis play with a lot of grit. I'm disappointed in Grayson Allen because him being second year and G League experience. I'm disappointed in how he had those 2 intentional fouls the other day and got ejected. But I can't go against Minnesota because I haven't watched them, but I can't pull from neither. So I'm just thinking that if Memphis play hard like they played against the Pelicans, it should be a good game.
I think so too, man. The Timberwolves will defeat the Nets 85-77. So there goes that game. It looks like Jarrett Allen the center from, let's see here. Let's see, we'll lead 15 points for the Brooklyn Nets. Looks like Naz Reid, their center, 20 points from Minnesota. So, I was yesterday's top scorers for the Pels, man. You guys yesterday, top score. Let's see, it's all courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app I'm getting my sources from here. Brandon Clark, actually, let's see here. Trevon Blewett, the guard, goes 16 points, and Brandon Clark, forward out of Memphis, scores 23. So, hey, man, looking forward to a great game tonight. Taryn, any thoughts on this before we go ahead and jump on into free agency?
So, yeah, Naz Reid has definitely impressed. Has definitely stood out. I think he's definitely one of the more underrated big men. I kind of like the Grizzlies in this game just because of Brandon Clark, but, it can go either way. Like, I was very impressed with the Grizzlies on how they were able, because they actually lost to the Celtics in summer league play prior, and then they beat the Celtics the second time, and the Celtics were the number 1 seed. So, but I definitely agree with Grayson Allen. He's definitely needs to mature a lot more. Otherwise, he's going to be without an NBA team, or he's not going to be in the NBA or G League. So he's definitely got to mature. The Grizzlies, like I said, the Grizzlies are definitely looking to build upward, as well as the Timberwolves. So honestly, but again, it's still early, but I'm liking some of these youngsters. So but my pick is the Grizzlies if I had to pick one to win tonight. So my pick's the Grizzlies, but it should be a good summer league game. I'm hopefully going to catch that tonight. I don't really have anything else going on, so I'll definitely try to catch the summer league game. But yeah, I like the Grizzlies. But it should be a great game nonetheless. So.
Well, just because they beat the Pels, I'm going to say Grizzlies too. I mean, my bad, Wolves. But it's kind of funny. I forgot which one of y'all said that. Just because they won the Summer League, they're not going to win the NBA Finals. But, hey, the Grizzlies are coming. I don't see them going, too far this year in the playoffs if they were to get in. But, however, the Timberwolves, I mean, they're a young, scrappy team. They definitely have some kind of a chance. I mean, maybe not the biggest chance, but my gosh, I think that they're, overall as a team, they really do have a good chance at it. So it's really neat to see a team that's up and coming, that has a legitimate shot at the playoffs this year. Not saying the Grizzlies don't, but everyone does, and start of the season begins. Kind of like in the NFL. I mean, like my Raiders. Everyone has a chance, and then week 1 happens, and the Raiders are out of the standings. I'm just saying. So, but that's a story for another day. But Colin knows how hard I am on that team. But Timberwolves, good squad. Their youth, pretty good. They're in the finals tonight. Let's see what they can do. So, I'm the Timberwolves as well. We shall see. So let's go ahead and move on now on in to free agency, and what a I don't even know what to call it. Gentlemen, we have seen some crazy moves in the last week, and it's just been something else. So first and foremost, Colin, man, give it to us. Who have been your craziest free agency pickups in this past week?
Well, do you want me to drop the bomb first, or do you want me to go around the table and come back? Because surprise move was first Jimmy Butler to the Miami Heat. I mean, I knew he was a Dwayne Wade fan growing up and coming through school and all that. But then after all that, I'm like, how can he possibly leave Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons? I mean, Eastern Conference semis, and I'm like, what's going on with that? Then I'm like, going to re-up. When you re-up and get the max contract, I mean, sometimes people choose money over winning, and then the possibility to win and get the money. I thought he would stay in Philly, but he didn't. But then, the Anthony Davis move, I mean, he bullied their way to LA. I mean, that's a win-win for me. LeBron LA. Then my New Orleans Pelicans got a boatload of picks and everything, so that's good. And assets. But the surprise move, Kawhi. Nobody on God's green earth thought he would go to the LA Clippers. They thought it was Lakers or bust, meaning him going back to Toronto for the 2-year deal with the 1 in the option, but he chose to go 3-year deal, 2 in the option with LA. But then he's working quietly behind the scenes, gets Paul George to come to LA he moved the Lakers meeting to a hotel closer to where Paul George can meet him in another part of the hotel, and then he got Sam Presti to trade him to LA to join Kawhi. That was a major pick. And then but under radar moves, I mean, Robin Lopez joining Brooke Lopez in Milwaukee. The Lopez brothers, that's gonna be a storyline for the ages. Come on, man, and don't forget Kyrie, Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. I mean, he got upset because he's not gonna get traded for no deal straight up. So y'all put a first round pick with it. That was like an ego moment. But Ken Kyrie actually handled the pressure, handled the load. Him and Jared Allen, him and Dinwiddie, and those crew, and handle it till Kevin Durant recovers from this Achilles injury. And will he really come back 100%? Or will Kevin Durant just be Kevin and not easy sniper? You know what I mean? So I was shocked about the Kemba Walker deal. I was shocked because Kemba said he's safer to Charlotte, and Terry Rozier got overpaid. I thought that you're going to pay that much for a player. Why not go big? Why not go big? I mean, Terry Rozier had an off year. Whether you want for that, he could have. I mean, they could have went for D'Lo. That's what I'm thinking. But you know, Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest player of all time. But when it's in the front office role, he's mediocre to me, man. But I love what David Griffin is doing to New Orleans Pelicans. Changing the culture, changing the way they think, the way the city looking at basketball, and with Elvin Gentry system finally have the players that he wants in the system to run and gun. Once Zion loses like 25 pounds, NBA in trouble.
You think so, Colin?
Hey, man, I know so because just think about it. Like I told you, they drafted Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jackson Hayes. These players may spend some time in the G League. But think about it. Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Jaleel Okafor. He's in the best shape of his life since college. Zion himself, Drew Holiday is going to push him to the absolute max. I think that this is going to be fun to watch, bro. It's going to be fun to watch.
I definitely agree, man. Great stuff there. I like how you say you want to drop the bomb first because that's coming up in the next. I want to save that for the next wave. But real quick on the non-bomb dropping fragrancy picks, Taryn, your thoughts on any of those or maybe any others?
Well, as we just saw, obviously Kawhi going to the Clippers is very huge.
I just said the bomb dropping, man. That was the bomb. Darn it! I was trying to save that for the next wave. I was just talking. I was talking about any of the other pickup non-Lakers, non-Clippers right now.
Okay, well, obviously the Rockets managing to get Russell Westbrook was huge, trading away Chris Paul and a few other draft picks. So that was very huge for the Rockets. They're now contenders in the West. The Western Conference is going to be very interesting. And then Clay resigning with the Warriors. I don't know if that's really a bomb pick, but you know, it's very huge for the Warriors, considering they still have the Splash Bros. And then D'Angelo Russell going to the Golden State Warriors is definitely huge, considering it adds more depth and offense to the Warriors, considering they lost KD, but you know, picking up D'Angelo Russell was huge for them, and so I can see the Warriors still remaining a contender in the East. And then obviously with the Brooklyn Nets picking up KD and Kyrie is huge. It will take a little while for Klay Thompson and for KD to return to form, considering they both suffered saddening injuries in the finals. So my heart goes out to them. But you know, the West is definitely shaping up to be very interesting. You know, like you all said with the Pelicans, they're going to be very fun to watch. You know, the LA teams are definitely fun to watch. The Rockets once again are up there. The Spurs definitely kind of should be up there as well. The Spurs obviously are the Spurs. They're like fine wine. They get better as they age. But you know, I just think that they're starting to lose their luster a little. But I still can see the Spurs at least making the playoffs, and then the Mavericks should be good. Should definitely be good with Kristaps Porzingis. I was blanking out on his name, but Dallas should be up there. So it should be a fun year next year in the West. As for the East, like I said, the Celtics are up there. The Nets are kind of up there. The Raptors are probably going to have that postseason hangover. If they make the playoffs, cool, but, it's going to be a crapshoot for them to repeat as champs. But, the NBA is going to be really fun next year. And then obviously the Bucks with the Lopez brothers and Giannis is going to be really good. So it's too early to tell. I don't really have a favorite as of right now, but, this whole NBA free agency thing has just been amazing. I mean, it's basically just been flawless, and we're all part of the show. We're all just getting front row seats to whoever's getting to whoever's signing to their destination and whoever's getting paid. So I'm looking forward to how the rest of the off season pans out and how the NBA season starts to go forward. Because I obviously can't wait for season to begin. So it should be fun.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, yeah, Lopez, brother, that's the first I've heard of that. I'm going to Milwaukee with Giannis. That is awesome. I mean, yesterday I saw a little rally I saw with him asking his fans to please not call him MVP because he's trying to get it this year. And honestly, he does have a chance. I saw it. I saw the odds. I forgot what they were, but he is in the front running, I believe, right now. And you know what? Serves him right. He's amazing, man. The Greek Freak. This dude is amazing. I mean, last year, come on, he got an all-star team last year. He picked one side versus LeBron. It was like he's the real deal, man. And we continue to talk about it. A couple years ago, hashtag we own the future. Last year, hashtag fear the deer. I mean, this year, I think they should just keep fear the deer this year because, my gosh, they are going to be a scary team. And I really want to see these guys get out there and ball this year. But bombs away, column. Now drop it, man. Talk about all this craziness going on in LA for both teams.
Man, well, Kawhi. And as Skip Bayless said on Undisputed, number two. I will refer him from now on this show as number two, as Skip Bayless refers to him as number two. Kawhi didn't just rape the Spurs a couple years ago. He not only just raped the Raptors, but he raped the NBA. He held up the whole market for about 8 days till he dropped the bomb, signed with the Clippers, got Paul George, and then he not signed for the Max. All together from his contract extension, he could have signed from the Spurs to today. He left on the table $116 million, showing us that it's not about money, it's about the love of the game, but it's about he's going to control his destiny. And who does it resemble? Well, my favorite player, LeBron James. He has set the tone. All the way from when he returned from Miami to Cleveland, he signed those 2-year deals, one with an option to control not just where he goes, but to keep the team, to keep teams at bay so where they can keep the teams being competitive, not to be relaxed with their spending. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great for the Staples Center. It's going to be great. You got Kawhi, Paul George, Patrick Beverley. I mean, from the 1 to the 3 right there, that's going to be defensive hands down. And then off the bench, man, Shamet, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell. I mean, they're deep. They're going to be good. But don't worry about it. 16 banners are hanging in that same building, man. And it's with the Lakers, baby. You know, got AD officially signed. You know, he's rocking at number 3, going back to his 7th grade team. Anthony Davis said, man, you know, he's kind of bummed out about that. But let me tell you something. He said he want to play with AD. I want to play with LeBron for a long time, and All-Star games was only a tease to him. So the fact of the matter is that now I want to give props to Rob Pelinka. First, he gave Magic Johnson a shout out at the press conference. You know, they say that dysfunction in that front office, but you know, what great leadership doesn't have any disputes every now and then? And great job to Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, because after the bomb dropped right before midnight Central Time, when Kawhi dropped the bomb, and he was going to the Clippers, and then 5 minutes later, another bomb dropped when Paul George signed with the Clippers. Rob Pelinka and the front office staff had this plan B in line already. We see Danny Green came off of the table. Quinn Cook. Then later on they signed Rondo. They signed Boogie. They filled out this roster. Avery Bradley. Now the two-way players. Last year they wanted players that really could just shoot and be versatile, create their own shot. Now they have shooters around LeBron. They have shooters around AD. They have players that can handle the ball. And I think I was just telling my coworker a little while ago, maybe about 2 minutes ago, I was telling about Cousins. Cousins is going to be a sleeper pick. He lost weight. Boogie used to be like around 280. I think Boogie, he looks. I'm just saying he looks. He looks like he's like 250, 245 maybe. Just a few shots I've seen, via ESPN, via Bleacher Report, and Instagram, all that good stuff. I think Boogie can be the sleeper, and he averaged 16 points in a very short season with Golden State. AD is one of his best friends. Rondo, AD was here in New Orleans. It wasn't the prettiest sight, but it was pretty good chemistry. And you add LeBron to the mix, these other players that's hungry, these players that's versatile, these players that just buy into the system. And I think the Staples Center is going to be great for basketball. But with that being said, I have to put this into consideration, and I have to bring this up. Doc Rivers, one of the greatest coaches of all time, great player in his time. Doc Rivers is going to have Kawhi at a whole nother level. But Frank Vogel, sleeper, not saying it because AD, not saying it because LeBron's my favorite player, but just think about those battles that Indiana gave Cleveland and Indiana gave Miami over the years. Who thought that they was going to give LeBron them that challenge? And Paul George accepted the challenge to check LeBron, to check D. Wade. Paul George, Lance Stevenson was there. So picture that mentality, that tenacity that he's going to birth inside of those players in LA to go up against not just the counterparts in the other side of the Staples Center, but across the league, man. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited, and I'm really enthused about what's going to happen.
You and me both, man. My gosh. Talk about the bomb drop and Kawhi gets holding up everybody for 8 days. My gosh. It was, this free agency this year was insane. But I don't know. I feel like everybody kind of, I think we have an even playing field in this. The West is going to be interesting. But before I go ahead and get a little more into this, Taryn, your thoughts, man.
So, obviously, I'm a Lakers fan, but the Clippers made a big sign. I was very surprised Kawhi signed with the Clippers, and then to bring Paul George is absolutely amazing. So it's always the quiet ones, or in this case, the quiet ones. So,
good one.
So in terms of quality, the Clippers definitely look like a great team. Like, they have great championship aspects. They definitely want to get out of the second round, because the Clippers have never been out of the second round, and they've never been to the Western Conference Finals, or they've never been to the NBA Finals, and they want to shake that label of sadness off of them. So with Kawhi and Pat Beverly and Paul George, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, and being led under Doc Rivers, the Clippers definitely look like a championship contender. Now, as for the Lakers, they got the terms of quantity instead of quality. Obviously, Danny Green is definitely a great sign for them. Boogie Cousins is a great sign. Quinn Cook is good because he comes from the Warriors. Troy Daniels is pretty good. Jared Dudley, and they also got Avery Bradley, and they re-signed JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, and KCP. So overall, the Lakers had a pretty good summer, and I'm glad they had a plan B just in case Kawhi didn't sign with the Lakers. And that's what I was kind of saying, after Kawhi signed with the Clippers. I was like, I'm glad I'm not disappointed in the fact that the Lakers didn't sign Kawhi, but they need to get some other free agents going, because they can't just be Anthony Davis and LeBron James. So in terms of quality, the Clippers are definitely one free agency in the West. In terms of quantity, the Lakers got some really good signings as well. Boogie definitely looks thinner, and I think the West, LA is going to be what's popping. But to all the Clippers fans, don't pop off until, not coming from a Lakers fan, and I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but don't pop off before the season begins. You have to, in order to win the championship, you have to make it to the championship. And, the Clippers haven't made it to the NBA Finals or the Western Conference Finals, like I said. But, this season looks promising for them. They definitely have some key pieces. I don't see them like finishing like 5 through 8, because if that's the case, then I don't know what to say. And you have to give it up to Clippers management, like Steve Ballmer. He's definitely a very, very promising owner, and honestly, the Clippers look promising, and Rob Pelinka definitely deserves credit, because I was having second thoughts on him after not landing Kawhi, and then throwing Magic under the bus, but then he goes out and gets Danny Green and Boogie Cousins and Avery Bradley and all those other guys. The only negative I don't really like of the Lakers signings is KCP, and the pro for KCP is that he's a very good free throw shooter. The cons are pretty much he's not really that great. He's all right, but free throw shooting wise, I'll definitely take him over like every one of the other Lakers free throw shooters. But he's gonna need to like improve on his game a lot more. But other than that, I like the Lakers and Clippers are definitely shaping up to be one of the superpowers in the West. So, I like both of those teams. It would be so great to have a Lakers-Clippers Western Conference Finals. It'll be interesting to see how the Lakers and Clippers pan out their rivalry games at Staples Center. Will there be more Lakers fans than Clippers fans, or vice versa? Seats are probably going to be super expensive. And, with LeBron and AD, the Lakers should make the playoffs. Like, between the Lakers and the Clippers, I think depending on who's more healthier or who stays healthiest the longest will make the playoffs. If the Lakers have the season where they're getting decimated by injuries, not just with LeBron but to other key players as well, then the Lakers could be on the outside looking in. But if they stay healthy, and as well as the Clippers, both those teams can definitely make a deep playoff run, and but both LA teams need to also watch out for the Warriors, and and also the Pelicans. But the West is going to be really fun this year. Like, the West is pretty much wide open for the most part, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, and right now, I feel like, the West is awesome. The Pacific is going to be absolutely amazing. Not taking anything away from the Clippers. Of course, I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Not very fond of the Clippers whatsoever. But I will tell you right now, once again, gotta pay credit where credit's due. And hey, let's go. Let's dig. Let's have some battles this year. Let's go. And I'm so excited for this. I feel like the one dude who's gonna be the X factor for the Lakers this year is gonna be Kyle Kuzma. This dude is just the dark horse, man. He got in there and played so well last year. And surrounded by now LeBron, of course, surrounded by all this talent. You got a guy like Kuzma in there who just can go next level so dang fast. I just really feel like he's going to be the dude to really, really, really be that, like, off the bench cat who can just come in and make things happen. So this is a really good team for the Lakers this year. Clippers, they got themselves a battle, man. Chris Paul, they got Kawhi Leonard. This is going to be interesting. I'm really, really excited for this too, gentlemen. But so that's pretty much going to be that. Really, just what an incredible free agency period we had here in the NBA, and I'm really looking forward, as both you gentlemen have said, really looking forward to seeing this year in the league and seeing how things go down. So it all starts coming up the end of September, beginning of October. Of course, our boys, Mr. Phil Jones, Mr. Phil Robinson III, will be back at you. Fast Break Season 3 premiere will be coming at you right around that time, so stay tuned for any more. Of course, we'll have more highlights and we'll have more news for you as we continue to go down the road and talking some NBA, of course. Join us in the chat room, show us some love, let us know what you think, today and for the rest of the shows moving forward. So, with that said, we got a few more minutes left here. Colin, Taryn, the ladies can ball too, man. Colin, we always talk about this. I love it, man. Pay these ladies. Absolutely correct. And, man, this past week was something. I mean, we had quite the game in the WNBA this past weekend. Number 1 in the West versus number 1 in the East. It all went down on Saturday night. Only game on Saturday night. The Las Vegas Aces, brand new team, taking on the Washington Spirit, team that went all the way to the finals last year and fell to the Seattle Storm. And of course, Miss Sue Bird, one of the most amazing players I think I've ever seen. This woman is amazing. But yesterday we would have Asia Wilson, I believe is how you pronounce her name, their center, going off 17 points, not too bad. 3 from 4 from the field, 7 for 17 field goal. And then Natasha Cloud for the Washington Spirit, guard, 18 points, 16-15 from field goal. From the field, and then 3 for 3. So, I mean, seriously, really, really, really neat. I mean, she just really... these two women, of course, led their teams, played really, really well. And I'm sorry about that. It was Asia Wilson, 7 from 17 from the field goal. But really, just what an incredible... run by both these teams here. Really good game. End of the first quarter, Mystics lead 28-16. After that, it just gets crazier. I love this. Okay, so that was end of the first quarter. End of the second quarter, okay, the Aces will outscore the Mystics 27-16. Really going. It was like almost the exact opposite. First quarter, think about this. Mystics outscore the Aces 28-16 and just 1 point shy of what the Mystics did. Aces will then outscore the Mystics 27-16. Then we have a near even third quarter. Aces will outscore the Mystics 18-17. And in the fourth quarter, 4 more points will do it. 24 points for the Aces, 20 points for the Mystics. That all results in 85-81. Sorry, I'm not good in my math, so I wouldn't know I don't know where I recorded the score, but 85-81 victory for the Aces. There we go. Colin, what you think, man?
I feel the Aces, Larry. From last year, I'll kind of say the Storm and all those other players, the team. The Aces was a team that was like great dominance, but they had I don't want to say a black cloud over their head, because I just feel that women's basketball, they represent women's basketball with actually the grit. And if you think about this, just think about this, Larry, and I'm gonna get to the game. Just think about this. When we talk about these sports, do we actually really feel that it's going to change the dynamic of the game, or are we just watching it for competition? And I feel that the Aces are just playing tough basketball. And we said last year, if you remember, you talked about last year, how some of these women, they play just as hard as the men. And I feel that if you can come in and play these 4 quarters of tough basketball, and you come in and play lights out basketball, the Storm, the Aces, the Dream, whoever it may be, they can do some great things. And you talking about the game that they just had against the Mystics. I mean, Wilson 17 points, Cloud 18 points. I mean, when was the last time we have saw this consistency from not just the Aces, but in women's basketball, to the fact of it's not like Della Don, it's not Tarazi, it's not go back Simone Augustus, it's not Lindsey Whalen, no players like that of the top names. But they have some players I see this year is maybe coming under the radar a little bit, and trying to, make a statement. You know what I mean? Do I expect the Mystics to win? Like, last year, I think it was like second round, first round, got knocked out. I mean, the Aces going to be right back there this year, Larry. I mean, I wanna be able to pick a team this year. I want to be able to pick a team this year that's not going to be like last year. I don't want to be able to pick Minnesota or the Storm again. That was me and your team last year. We were talking about the Sparks. LA, LeBron back. LA, go to Sparks. But then me and you down the stretch, we both was going talking about Minnesota or Seattle, and I think that the Aces may take our minds off of that.
Absolutely. The Aces right now 11-5 after that victory. The Washington Mystics. I don't know why. I'm sorry, the Spirit. I keep on saying the Spirit because of Washington, the NWSL team. Sorry about that. But the Washington Mystics 9-6. So I mean, great stuff there. Both these teams still leading. But as for those Sparks, man, of course, me, diehard Sparks fan, those ladies are getting it. I mean, they're kind of middle of the road at the moment. They're in the playoffs. If the playoffs were to start tomorrow, they're 9-7. A little bit over 500. Not too shabby. Pretty dang good there of a team. But absolutely, man, the Aces are somebody who just came in. I mean, they're a franchise that can definitely make it all the way to the final, maybe even win this thing, man. They have been dominant for since the season began, a little bit less than 2 months ago. So really excited for that. Yesterday, the Sparks will defeat the Dream 76-71 in overtime. The Sun defeats the Fever 76-63. The Sky will defeat the Wings 89-79. The Lynx defeat the Mercury 75-62. And then we have the Storm getting down, defeating Liberty 78-69. Coming up this week, we have a couple really good games. Storm taking on the Lynx coming up on Wednesday. 10-8 record taking on a 10-7 record right there. Should be pretty dang good. Also, Wings at the Sparks coming up on Thursday night. And the big one for me, though, is going to be Aces versus Storm on Friday. 11-5 Aces will then go on into Seattle and take on Sue Bird and her 10-8 Storm right now. And to me, that is just going to be that game. Also, Sparks versus Liberty this Saturday. Really looking forward to that coming up this week. And then next week, the Lynx take on the Aces in Las Vegas next Sunday. So pretty good basketball ahead of us right now.
I'm looking for that one.
That's going to be quite the stuff right there. Real quick, Taryn, your thoughts on these?
I'm looking for that one, Larry.
What was that?
I'm looking for that one on Sunday. Lynx versus those same Aces in Las Vegas.
That's going to be a battle, man. Minnesota, you already know, man. Minnesota brings it. Every time they play, it's like Minnesota plays like it's their last game every dang game, man.
Yes, sir.
It's good. But, Taryn, real quick, man, your thoughts on on the ladies moving forward?
So, believe it or not, the league is pretty tight. Obviously the top 8 teams, no matter what conference are in, go to the playoffs. And believe it or not, the Los Angeles Sparks are actually one of the semi-hottest teams playing right now. I mean, they've won 5 out of 6. And their only loss was to the Dallas Wings, which they play on Wednesday. So I expect the Sparks to come out with a little bit more urgency. They were once 4-6, but now they've won, like I said, they've won 5 out of their last 6. So I'm hoping the Sparks can turn it around. But, the Las Vegas Aces, man, I mean, Las Vegas needs a good professional sports team, not just the Las Vegas Golden Knights, but, the Las Vegas Aces as well. So it's good to see them rising to power. The Connecticut Sun are also a team to watch for as well. They are 7-1 with the best home record. So they're definitely the top contender in the East, and they could also prove a challenge to the Aces as well. The Mystics aren't too bad, and the Minnesota Lynx and the Sparks, whenever those two teams meet, expect a battle. And obviously the Seattle Storm and the Phoenix Mercury are good. It's pretty close overall in the league. There's not much separating any of these teams. And for the Chicago Sky, I'm hoping one player I'm hoping that gets to see some playing time is Katie Lou Samuelson. So I know she's just a rookie, but she's from UConn, and I've heard a lot of good things about her. She came from Mater Dei High School, and she's a very talented player. I think she was Gatorade State Player of the Year. Shouts to Coach Kiernan for developing Coach Samuelson, or for Katie Lou Samuelson. But I really want Katie Lou Samuelson to get some playing time for the Chicago Sky. I think it would be great for UConn, and I think it would be great for the WNBA as well. That's one of my personal favorite players because she just can do it all. She's just flat out amazing. And same with UConn. I could say the same thing about all of UConn's players. But me personally, I'd like to see Katie Lou Samuelson get some more playing time and maybe help the Chicago Sky make a push for the playoffs as well. I mean, they're definitely in the hunt, but it's still a bit of a long season. Anything can happen, so we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping my Sparks can make another good run to the final. Last year was a little bit saddening to see them get bounced, but I think winning the WNBA championship is wide open this year. Like I said, not much is separating any of these teams. Like 1 through 6 is just only 2 games separates pretty much separates the top from the bottom. So you have that as well. So, and you also have to watch out for the outside looking in. The Liberty still have a shot. Indianapolis, Dallas, and Atlanta are still a little bit behind, but it all depends on who gets hot and who gets cold. So we'll see what happens. I like to see the WNBA get more like viewers or more attendance, but hopefully the WNBA can like excel just as much as the NBA. So we'll see how it goes.
I agree, man. With that said, man, Column, I like it. You're taking the Lynx and the Aces on Sunday to be the big game, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm taking Aces at Storm on Friday. Taryn, who you got, man? What's your game of the week for the WNBA?
It would probably be Aces and Lynx because that's the 2 top teams in the Western Conference, and there's, like I said, there's not much separating those teams, and I'm wondering if the Lynx are pretty good. The Minnesota Lynx are pretty good at home as well. They built a 6-3 road record, while the Aces are 5-3 are away. So we'll see how it goes. I think Aces and Lynx are definitely one to watch for. But again, don't sleep on the Sparks. They have
absolutely.
They can make up some ground with a win over the Wings at Staples Center, and they can also make up ground with a win over the Liberty on Saturday. So
well, I'm hoping they can do that. But gentlemen, is it safe to say that we're both taking the Aces on Friday and Sunday?
Aces wild.
Aces wild. What you got, Colin?
Aces and Lynx. Oh man, I'm going Lynx though.
You go with the Lynx? No, okay. Why's that, man? Give it to me.
I just like the play of late. I mean, I just like the grit. I mean, I like the women basketball. A lot of people think just the shooting and the fundamental of it all. I like when they get on the floor and get the loose balls. And the Lynx, they just give me all that. So I want the Lynx.
I like it, man. Okay, well, there it is, y'all. That's going to wrap up this segment. But, man, that was a fun one, talking some hoops, man, talking some basketball. As we know, a big shout to UConn. I did not know Samuels came from Mater Dei, so over here in Orange County in Southern California. But as I think, Colin, you and I can both attest to knowing how dominant, they're one of the most dominant teams ever in the history of sports. Of course, UConn, man. The UConn Huskies, the Lady Huskies. Sorry, the UConn Lady Huskies, of course. Coach Gino Auriemma is doing his thing, man. I think every woman that comes out of that program can go somewhere and play. I mean, is that pretty correct? At least 90% of them, correct, Colin?
Yes, sir.
So, with that said, hey, man, Colin, man, it was fun. I said it was going to be about a half an hour, man. You ended up staying an hour. But, hey, man, I appreciate you and your time, man. I had some great basketball talk today, man. Thank you so much. Colin, any last words for the listeners here before we're off air today?
Yeah, man, I want the listeners and I want the followers to know that I quote and I declare that this is going to be a great NBA season. No more big threes. They have a few, strong threes, but no more big threes. They call it dynamic duos. And I feel they have 2 or 3 more moves that's going to happen real soon. I'm gonna hold it for next week.
I like it. Well, you'll be back with us next week. So with that said, Colin,
I'll hold it for next week.
I like it, man. So with that said, Colin, go ahead, man. Where can these diehard fans find you on Twitter?
And you can find me at FatMac_K. That's FATMAC_K. Faith and trials make a Christian. Helping hands and loving hearts make the world a better place.
That's right, y'all. I love it every time he says that, man. It's great stuff as always. Great stuff. Helping hands, loving hearts make the world a better place without a doubt, man. So go ahead and give Colin a follow, man. Also, all great stuff there. With that said, man, hey, have you a great rest of your day, man. Have you a great rest of your week. We'll catch you back next week. Talk some more basketball, man. I was gonna say hoops and basketball at the same exact time.
Hey, man. Thank y'all, man. Y'all be blessed, man. And y'all stay dry.
Hey, man. Definitely, brother. Hey, take care. God bless. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week, man.
Yes, sir. See you later.
Great having you, Kylan.
Thank you, man.
All right, y'all. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Colin Reynolds. Got to show him some love. Great stuff as always, man. Great guy. Great having him. All right, y'all. Well, with that said, we are a little bit more than halfway through today's show. When we get back, my gosh, we have like everything still to get through. I mean, seriously, we also got basketball. We got to get into some boxing. Vargas this past week defeats Kamita. I hope I didn't butcher his name. Then of course this weekend we got a little fight coming up, just a little one. We're gonna have Mr. Gilbert Batista of Ringside coming up to join us in about an hour's time to talk Pacquiao and Thurman in the back half an hour of our show, or in the last half an hour of the show. Then we got some NPF to get on into. Chicago Bandits, USSSA Pride. How about that team from Australia? Aussies? What? Oh yeah, we're going to be talking some NPF. Also, little teeny bit more of MLB. We're going to just go around the league. And then, of course, we got some auto sports. Formula One, as I mentioned, Lewis Hamilton. Can we just hand him the trophy already? And can we hand Mercedes a manufacturer trophy? I mean, seriously. Awesome job, Mr. Lewis Hamilton gets it done in the British Grand Prix at home. So, big ups to him. Also, some NASCAR. Kurt Busch exits out his brother, Kyle Busch, in quite the race in the Quaker State 400 in Kentucky. The NHRA coming up this week. We've got 2 races back-to-back this weekend, next weekend, so looking forward to that. Can Steve Torrence continue his dominance? Can Matt Hagan continue his dominance? Hey, and I mean, just saying, these 2 guys have been up there. More Matt Hagan a few times this year, but Steve Torrence just absolutely going off in top fuel. Also, IndyCar. Simon Pagenaud does it again. Oh, this IndyCar series is my favorite. I mean, seriously, it is so unpredictable who's going to win the championship this year, as it's been the last 2 years. So, awesome stuff there. We have a champion to crown in Formula E. Also, some NWSL. We had some great games this past weekend, especially Portland versus Orlando. The Portland Thorns FC, incredible team right there, gets it done over the Orlando Pride in one heck of a game there. Goal scored in like the 4th minute of stoppage time out of like 5 minutes. Incredible stuff. This one back and forth at the end. MLS action, painting the town red in New York, and the ICC getting ready to start tomorrow. Oh, I love the ICC. I don't care if it's the preseason kind of type of tournament. I don't care. Always great stuff there. Liga MX starts this Friday in the Apertura 2019. And oh yeah, Wimbledon. How about Simona Halep and Novak Djokovic? We got so much more coming up here on the back half of the Defining Moment today. We thank you so much for joining us. Of course, my co-host today, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, and maybe the permanent co-host soon, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, and for myself, Larry B. We take ourselves a short break. When we get back, actually it might be a little lengthy, but when we get back, we're going to jump right on in to some auto sports. Hopefully you're ready to rock and roll, y'all, because, hey, full speed ahead. With that said, you're listening to The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Phil Robinson, running points, setting up Phil Jones for the finish. Join us every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as we break down the week in basketball on the home for Real Talk Sports Radio, iesportsradio.com.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development. But we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest owners. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
What up, all you boxing fans? This is Vince Wright, the sports governor, and me and Gilbert Batista are the host of Ringside on IE Sports Radio. Make sure you keep it tuned to IE Sports Radio, Spreaker.com for the latest edition of Ringside. All the boxing news you need right here. Keep it tuned, Spreaker.com, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, soccer fans. Pierre Moss here with you. I am the host of the Soccer Scoreboard Show right here on IE Sports Radio each and every week. Games and the best action from around the world of soccer. Not only do we have live scores for you, but we also news and all the latest stories from the soccer world right here on the Soccer Scoreboard Show. Come join us each and every week right here on IE Sports Radio.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my two co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Two Wheels Wednesday is the place to come for all your motorcycle sports news every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio with myself, Matt White. All the latest news, rumours, race reviews and previews from World and British Superbikes and the big one, MotoGP. Two Wheels Wednesday, every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
From the home plate to the nets, the end zone to the finish line, here nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. Not what it seems with your host Caitlin Seam, bringing you sports like you've never heard before. Catch me Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on IE Sports Radio. The only question is, are you ready?
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2livestewsradio.com and Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the waitaminuteShow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Indeed.
My NBA college basketball fans out there, tired of hearing about just the dramatic stuff in the basketball world, tired of hearing about what such and such reward tonight and not about the game? Hey, leave all of that alone, because on Wednesday nights I got this show called Fast Break with Phil Jones here on the IE Sports Radio. And all we talk about is straight basketball, from where it comes down to the NBA, the NCAA, and even the WNBA. I don't discriminate. I give all my NBA, my basketball, whatever you want with sports, to the slam dunks, to the three-pointers, to the teardrops, to the game winners. I'm there I'm speaking about it. I have a debate. I have my panel. I got a squad that rolls in, and we're going to be talking mad sports. We're going to be talking about the Lakers. We're going to be talking about even the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to be talking about who's the top team out there in the NBA. So, tie all the drama. Tie all the... What did he wear today? What kind of shoes he had? Forget all that. Just come over. Listen to Fast Break with Phil Jones here on IE Sports Radio every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, y'all. So, yo, tune in.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota, and I want to thank you for listening to Sports Done Right. Make sure you're checking us out on all of our platforms, whether it's Spreaker.com, XSquadAffiliates.com. We're also heard on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, so keep it tuned here. More great things coming from Sports Done Right.
Want to follow the show and the Guys Outsider broadcast? Follow us on Twitter using the following handles. For Matthew Owens and for updates on our schedule, follow at 24MOwens. For Seth Eves, follow at SportsJunkie94. For Pierre Moss from the Wellington Sports Network, follow at Skywalker42811. And for myself, Calvin Vandergrift, follow at Cal Mr. MISTER 2000.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide.
On the BS3 Sports Show.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Podcast. We hope your experience with us is amazing. Sports talk, comedy, social issues, and more. BS3 is the best source.
Can you dig it, son? Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your boy Larry B of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy Larry B, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there.
Absolutely. You will see us then. I've got to change that commercial. Sorry, I kind of paused it there in the middle, my bad. But it's not 4 p.m. no more on Mondays. But it is back on Mondays. So, hopefully you're enjoying the show. I know we definitely are. It's been a fun one. We're almost 2 hours into it. We got a little bit over an hour left. And we are ready to rock and roll. So much to get into. And we have, so little time. Y'all know the drill. I'm always kind of rushed. But it was crazy because you think 3 hours. My gosh, that's a long time. And then you think about it and you're like, wow, that's really not that long. So hopefully you're all enjoying your lunch hour. If you're just joining us, you missed a really good, fun basketball segment. Talk some MLB to start the show off. And then, believe it or not, we've only talked about two things and it's been 2 hours. So, yeah, it's been pretty fun day. Big shout out to Mr. Kyler Reynolds for joining us, talking some basketball a little bit ago. But let's go ahead and jump off into the back half of our show here. So much to get into, but let's have some fun. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and go back to the diamond real fast. And so we only got an hour, so we're going to keep this kind of short and sweet for all of these here. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and jump on in to some National Pro Fast Pitch. Of course, the NPF. The ladies can get down on the court and on the diamond too, I'll tell you that, because we certainly have ourselves pretty interesting seasons going on so far right now. As I mentioned, the Aussies are playing great. The Pride, well, they're certainly playing great. And, of course, the Bandits certainly playing great as of right now. And really cool because my guest here today, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, really cool because he, of course, is 1/3 of Bases Loaded. Here on IE Sports Radio, they go ahead and talk some NPF every week, Players of the Week and everything. I know they Terrence said that the Players of the Week weren't up just yet, but we do have some games in this past week. So, Taryn, take it away, man. Your thoughts on some NPF this past week?
So, obviously, the Chicago Bandits continue to roll. They are 22-5, and part of the reason why they're having such a successful year is because of their head coach, Lauren Lappin. She has the team firing on all cylinders, and the Bandits are on a 14-game winning streak over the past week, and she was prior to the 2019 season, Lappin was the 7th head coach in the Bandits franchise, and she's a former U.S. Olympian, and she served as an assistant coach for the Bandits under Stacey Newman-Denise in the 2018 season. And she's a Cali girl. She's from SoCal, and she went to Stanford University, where she played from 2002 to 2006, and she was also a member of the USA National Elite Team in 2003 and 2005, and she was a silver medalist in the Beijing Games. Another team that stood out is sorry to cut you off there, Larry, but another team that's interesting is USSSA Pride. They have a perfect 13-0 home record, so that's very impressive by them. So, talk about home field advantage. So, hats off to USSA Pride for being undefeated at home.
Yeah, the Pride are without a doubt. I mean, you got a player. Okay, I just want those out here. When you got a player like Sierra Romero, who is just a freaking monster, okay? Overall, record holding home runs in one season, or I think all-time home runs for not just Michigan, the Wolverines, the Lady Wolverines, but in all of college softball. Yeah, he kind of got a really good player and an incredible shortstop. So yeah, and then Pride, they've been flirting. Last year they just went ahead and swept the Bandits last year in the Coles Cup. This year, we'll find out if they can go head-to-head again. I think they played back in 2015, too. Sierra Romero wasn't part of that team. But, yeah, when you got a player like that, I mean, this team is just this team is an incredible team. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And another player that's caught my eye is Rachel Fico, who pitched I believe she pitched a complete game I believe it was on 4th of July for the Chicago Bandits in a win over the Cleveland Comets. I believe it was a 4-0 victory over the Cleveland Comets. So, hats off to Rachel Fico for pitching a complete game. And complete games are pretty rare, as Blake Henley says, and, perfect games are even rarer. So, to go the distance and not be taken out and still pitch strikeouts and not allow any runs to be scored, that's quite amazing.
No, it really, really is. And yeah, I mean, such a incredible, man. Undefeated at home. I didn't even know that. But see, there you go, y'all. Taryn just doing his thing here, man. What an incredible season we've had so far. I mean, we're getting close to hey, we're actually a month away now. I mean, it's a short season, only like 3 months or 2 months. But we're getting close here. Final month around there, because in about a month's time, the Coles Cup will be here, and we'll be ready to talk some more NPF. But as of right now, though, about halfway through the season, we have seen some great stuff. And really, I mean, look at these standings as of right now. I mean, as you mentioned, right now the Bandits still doing their thing on top. 22-5 on the season. USSSA Pride right behind them, 4 games back at 18-6. Then the Canadian Wild. This Canadian team's playing pretty darn good. They're right there, 16-13. Then you kind of start to drop back a little bit. Cleveland's in the mix, but not really. But they're kind of there at 13-19. Then, unfortunately, and I don't know why. I'm sorry. I was thinking Australian Pepper. The Aussie Peppers, I'm sorry, the Canadian Wild, the Canadian team, sorry about that, y'all, is up there. And then, unfortunately, for the Beijing Eagles, 7-19, and the Aussie Peppers at 8-22. So, kind of my apologies for the confusion there. Oh, I'm on a roll today. Confusion with Aussie and with the Australian team and with the Canadian team in the US, in the NPF, and my lovely blip there with the Washington Spirits and the Washington Mystics. So yeah, I'm just hitting home runs today, man. I feel great. But yeah, so any last words there for the NPF or any series you like this week?
Well, my last few words would probably be keep doing your thing. I'll probably have the series of the week tomorrow. I'm going to keep that a surprise.
Oh, okay, look at it. Terrence over here trying to surprise everybody. I like it. So let's go ahead real quick. I'm going to, let's see, where are we? I want to see the full schedule, and I want to take a look at what's coming up for this week, because we have got some great softball coming up here, for some great fast picks, that is, coming up, I am positive. So let's go ahead and jump on over here on to page 3, and this is all courtesy of ProFastPicks.com. I'm getting my sources from here. So, alright, here we go. It is, so this week is the 16th. Alright, so, first and foremost, I just gotta say right now that the freaking Pride is just playing great softball. I think anybody can, attest to that, as well as the Bandits. And will they play each other this week?
Yeah, they play tonight, actually.
They play tonight. Look at that. That's right. Chicago Bandits and the Pride going head-to-head. I'm loving it. It's only one game. It's only one freaking game. What do you think about that? Not even a series.
Actually, they play tomorrow. The Bandits and the Pride play tomorrow as well.
Oh, they do. Okay, I just saw the chopped off part of the... Okay, gosh darn it. I was trying to get all excited here. Okay, so it looks like we have that series going on right now. Game 1 tonight. Then they play Game 2 tomorrow. And then that's it. So it's only a 2-game series. Looks like on the 18th they don't play. So there's no games on the 17th. And then coming up... So yeah, we got a 2-game series. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Just give me your thoughts on that. Pride and the Bandits going head-to-head. Who are you taking?
So it all depends. So I believe one game is going to be at USSA, while the other is going to be at Chicago. That's kind of tough to call. I mean, USSA Pride is definitely good at home, but Chicago isn't too shabby at their home field as well. So I think at USSA Pride, I think actually, you know what? I'm going to take Chicago in both games. And I mean, it all depends on who's on the mound. If Rachel Fico is pitching in either game, I'm definitely taking the Bandits, because, she's just been dynamite for the Bandits. But, USSA Pride is no slouch either. They want to catch up to the Chicago Bandits. So, honestly, I'll take the Bandits for the first game and USSA Pride for the second game.
Okay, so you're gonna take the two teams at home.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Pride. Why? Because I really like Sia Romero. She's right here. She's a product of Marietta. Her and her sister Sydney Romero. I cannot wait to see where Sydney Romero goes. She was on that incredible Oklahoma team. So hopefully she gets drafted to one of these. If she goes the same team with her sister, oh my gosh, the Pride are going to dominate for years to come. But looking forward to that. All coming up here. But let's go ahead and moving on now into some MLB. So it's kind of keeping it short and sweet, because of course tomorrow we got bases loaded coming up, as we did today with the NPF. So let's go ahead and go rapid fire throughout the standings, and let's talk a little bit about. We already talked about the series of the week from last week. Of course, Red Sox and Dodgers. So if you missed that, it was the beginning of the show. And check that out in the podcast version. But let's go rapid fire through every league. Through every through both conferences, through every division, and then we'll get into the series of the week, which should be a good one. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump on into it. AL East, this is all courtesy of the ESPN Sports Center app. AL East, Taryn, here we go. AL East, Yankees leading 59-32. 6 games back. Tampa Bay, surprising this year, looking pretty darn good. 6 games back at 55-40. And you have Boston dropping a tough series of the Dodgers last night, 50-43, 10 games back. Toronto at 35-59 with 25 and a half games back, and then Baltimore at 28-65 at 32 games back. Safe to say their season's pretty much done. But my gosh, somewhat competitive. I don't know. Your thoughts on the AL East right now?
So, I definitely think the AL East is very competitive, if y'all can hear me. So, yeah, so the AL East is very competitive, and, like I said, the Red Sox definitely need to make a push. I definitely need to make a trade. The Rays are definitely leading the AL wild card, so as long as they play consistent, they're going to be fine. The Yankees are definitely playing on a whole nother level. As long as they continue to play their best baseball. I know their pitching isn't all that great, but you have to give it up for the Yankees, who have played beaten up for most of the season, but are still on top of the AL East. So I can see the Yankees winning the AL East.
As of right now, they're looking pretty dang strong. AL Central, Minnesota up by 6.5 games right now, 5-8. 58 and 34. Cleveland, second place right now. They're still hanging around. 6-5. 51 and 54. 6.5 games back. The White Sox at 42 and 47. The Kansas City Royals at 32 and 62, and Detroit at 29 and 59. And by the way, quick comments on the AL East. I'm pretty darn sure the Yankees got it this year. That's really only comments I got right now. So anyway, AL Central. What you got, Taryn?
So the Twins are having a very good season right now. Being 58 and 34, I don't think a whole lot of people predicted the Twins having a big lead in the NL Central. Everyone thought that the Indians were going to continue their dominance, but you have to give it up for the Twins. They're definitely doing their thing. Cleveland is right there in the wild card race. They are half game behind the Oakland A's in the wild card race. Cleveland's going to need all the wins they can get, because if they want to continue to make the postseason, because the AL wild card is definitely competitive, and they can't really bank on their league rivals to knock off the Twins, they can't really ask for help to try to knock off the Twins, because the Twins are definitely rolling through the competition. So if anything, the Twins have got this division on lock unless something drastic happens. But remember, MLB is a marathon, so anything can happen.
Absolutely. I think right now Minnesota is locking it down. But Cleveland, they have every chance to get there. Will they? Oh, we will find out. Cleveland has surprised in the last couple of years. They were in a World Series a couple of years back. But as of right now, I think Minnesota's, if they can keep this up, those Twins are looking pretty good. In the AL West, our division, Mr. Taryn, Houston, 59 and 35. They are tied for the second best record along right now with the Yankees. They are 6 games ahead of Oakland. Oakland having a really good season, 53 and 41, 6 games back. Then you have Texas, who's obviously having a really good season too, at 50 and 44. Then the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, my beloved team, your beloved team, 11 games back, 48 and 46. And then Seattle at 39 and 58. Your thoughts?
So Houston is. I'm pretty surprised to see Houston's getting back on track. Don't get me wrong. I think that the Astros are definitely a great team. I'm going to be checking out their series against the Angels tonight and the rest of the week. Oakland has definitely been opening some eyes, considering they're right there in the wild card race. There was one point where I think the Angels were 1 game behind the A's, and then the A's just started getting hotter and hotter. So the A's are definitely a team to watch for. Texas isn't out of the race just yet, but they definitely got to make up some ground. And losing to the Astros more times than not, didn't really help their case. So as for the Angels, they're still right there. They definitely need to make a trade before the deadline. They need to get better arms. Like I said, their pitching is not that great, other than Hansel Robles. And then the Mariners, it was surprising to see them start 13-2, and then suddenly they're now in dead last in the AL West. So it's kind of a bummer for the Mariners. But honestly, I think the Astros have got this. The AL West on lock. But as for the other three, as for the Angels, Oakland A's, and the Rangers, they're still very well in the AL wildcard race. So they definitely got to make some transactions going forward.
I agree. Angels, let's do this. Sorry to cut you out there, Mr. Taryn. Angels, let's get it in gear, guys. We have a good team. Let's get it in gear. Okay?
Exactly. Tyler Skaggs.
For Tyler Skaggs, come on. Tom Listella, unfortunately, broke his leg.
Out 3 weeks, yeah.
Get back at it, brother. It's all right. Hey, man. Remember my prayers. God bless you. Angels, hear my prayers. God bless you. Let's do this, God. Let's do this. Okay, Astros. Well, they're the team to beat. That's really all there is to it. National League. All right, y'all. NL East. Atlanta. Okay, Atlanta. 57-37, leading by 7 games right now. Washington without Bryce Harper, leading the Phillies. I'm just talking crap now. But Washington, looking all right. 49-43, get 7 games back. The Phillies, 8.5 games back. 48-45. Then you have the Mets, 42-51, and Miami will be in the basement as of right now, 34-57. But right now, Atlanta is just the team to beat. But how about that second place battle? Interesting, because there's a certain player involved, Bryce Harper. Your thoughts, Mr. Taryn?
So, Washington and Philadelphia are actually both number 1 and number 2 in the NL wild card. So those two teams will definitely be battling it out for whoever makes the playoffs. As for the Braves, it's really good to see a team trying to challenge the Dodgers. And, it's also good for Atlanta and for the state of Georgia, considering, let's be honest, Atlanta sports have kind of been the butt of everyone's jokes, and most Georgia teams have been the butt of everyone's jokes, whether it's college sports or professional sports. Honestly, the NL East is definitely the NL East is definitely a league to watch for, especially with the 3-horse race going on between Atlanta, Washington, and Philadelphia. Philadelphia, I believe one of their players retired. It was something Howard. But anyway, Washington, Philadelphia, they're definitely looking like the 2 top contenders in the NL wild card. But we'll see. It's still a tight race. Atlanta definitely looking like the class of the NL East, but anything can happen.
Absolutely. So looking pretty crazy there in the East, but the craziest division of all. I mean, we've talked about it numerous times here on the show. We talked about the last time you were here. I've talked about it numerous times. You and Brandon and Blake have talked about it numerous times on Bases Loaded, and it is no secret. It is just so awesome to think that. There's a half in there now. Okay, so certain teams, but all except for the AL East and the AL West, okay, and tied, I guess you can say, with the AL Central. From first to last place in the NL Central is incredible, because they're only 6.5 games back, okay? So the reason why I said that was because 6 games back is the East and the AL East and the AL West, but that's from first to second place, guys. From first to last place right now in the NL Central, the Cubs 50-43. Milwaukee's 2.5 games back at 48 and 46. St. Louis 3 games back at 46 and 45. Pittsburgh at 40. They're at 3 games back. 5.5 games back. Pittsburgh at 44 and 48. And Cincinnati at 6.5 games back at 42 and 48. My gosh. What a division. Taryn.
So the NL Central is very, very interesting, very tight as well. Obviously, with me talking about it, like my first time here on The Defining Moment and on Bases Loaded, the Cubs are ahead in that division, but the Brewers are also not trying to knock on the door. They still have Christian Yelich, but being a -24 doesn't really help anything. Won't really help your case of making the playoffs and winning that division. As for the National League wild card, in terms of the Brewers, they're actually a half game behind the Phillies when it comes to the last National League wild card spot. And St. Louis is right behind the Brewers in the National League wild card spot, being only 1 game behind. So, the National League is shaping up to be one big logjam in the National League wild card and in the National League, the NL Central, because because I've never seen anything more balanced like that. And, you know, the Pirates are also not to be slept on as well, because they have, I believe it was Josh Bell, who's hitting dingers, and the Reds are also not to be slept on either. They're a plus 33, despite being 42 and 48. So that's very astounding. Any of those teams can win, but, you know, I can't really predict a clear-cut winner when it comes to this division. I'm just going to say the Cubs are going to win that series, or are going to win that division.
They look tough. I'm going to give it to Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee can pull it off, but my gosh, those Cubs. Kyle will be happy with you right now. Those Cubs looking tough. I really think Milwaukee can somehow pull this thing off. Hey, they went to the NLCS last year. You know what? I think they can do it again. I think maybe I'm not talking about World Series. I don't know. Maybe not. But this team is a tough team, and my gosh, they do not give up. That's their crew. I love that. I love their hashtag, the crew, or how it's my crew, or I forgot what it is, but they're just awesome. So anyway, in the NL West, the Dodgers just opened up a 14. Oh my gosh, that was 14. It's a 14.5 game gap. 62 and 33. Best record in the MLB. Colorado will trail them by 14.5 games, as well as Arizona. Colorado at 46 and 46 at 500. Arizona at 47 and 47, also at 500. I guess I don't know where the half came from, but for either of them, or for at least one of them, but whatever. Anyway, San Diego at 45 and 48, and the San Francisco Giants at 43 and 49 in the basement. Your thoughts, Taryn?
So I've said this numerous times. The Dodgers are the class of the NL West. I really don't see them collapsing, going down the way. I'm definitely picking the Dodgers to win the NL West. As for the Cardinals and the Rockies and the Padres, they also are in the thick of it in the NL wild card. So the Diamondbacks are definitely, if I said the Cardinals, my bad, but the Diamondbacks, Arizona is only 1.5 games back in the wild card race, in the NL wild card, as well as the Colorado Rockies. And the Padres are also in it as well. They're only 3 games back of the last wild card spot. So, if anything, you know, you got to keep an eye on those 3. Like, those 3 definitely want to make the playoffs, but, you know, they're kind of in the Angels' boat. They're still trying to scrap their way to the top, and they're trying to scrap their way to the playoffs. But, you know, they got to make transactions as well. You know, I'm pretty sure Brandon Buckingham will say this, that the Cardinals definitely need to improve if they want to make the playoffs. The Rockies also want to build off of their solid start. And the Padres have probably one of their better teams in, like, quite some time. So, if anything, the Padres need to make some transactions, and same with the Rockies and the Diamondbacks if they want to make the playoffs. But, you know, the NL wildcard overall is really competitive. Like, you know, from Washington to Pittsburgh, it's basically a 3.5 difference. So it's definitely, so anyone can make the playoffs at this point. Again, it's basically, the MLB has their peaks and valleys for their teams and their highs and lows. And, you know, it's the marathon, you know. Anyone can get hot or cold at any time, so we'll see how it goes, and I can't really predict a clear-cut wild card representative.
Well, certainly, I agree. Class of the MLB right now, or class of the MLB for damn. I mean, maybe not for sure, but class of the West of the NL for dang sure. Of the NL West for dang sure. MLB,
absolutely.
Yeah, MLB, well, I mean, close to, right now they are, because they're leading, but, hey, best record, but Dodgers, certainly a scary team to watch out for. I am really excited to see them go forward. I think they're going to get this thing going, but
especially if they get pitchers as well.
Oh, yeah.
I see them making some transactions as well.
Oh, absolutely. So
they can all go up from here.
Quick and dirty, absolutely. Quick and dirty, series of the week this week. As you know, a lot of you know, the series of the week is basically the one that ends on Sunday Night Baseball. Awesome. I love the cast of Sunday Night Baseball, especially Jessica Mendoza. I am in love with that woman. She is awesome. So, for Thursday Night Baseball, Nationals, Braves. We have a 4-game series starting on Thursday night. Gonna be a fun one. Nationals and Braves. You just mentioned Nationals are fighting right now with the Phillies for that wild card spot. The Braves leading the the NL East. I mean, seriously, this is a really, really fun series of the week this week. The 4-game series, of course, like I said, all concludes on Sunday Night Baseball next week. Who you got, Taryn, and why?
So I'm actually going to predict a split in this series just because the Braves want to continue to tighten their grip on the NL East. At the same time, the Nationals also need to keep pace in the wild card race. And looking to see who the Phillies play. The Phillies play the Dodgers, so the Phillies, if the Nationals can get help from the Dodgers, the Nationals could actually continue to hang around the wild card race. But I'm definitely going to predict a split for the Braves Nationals, just because those are two talented teams, and the Nationals are on the bubble. Anything, like I said, anything can happen. But even though it's going to be at Atlanta, the Nationals sometimes give the Braves trouble for the most part. They definitely want to prove that they're not as bad as everyone thinks they are. Not really like bad, but the Nationals that want to prove to everyone that they can hang with anyone in the National League, not just the Braves, but with anyone else. Now, this series to watch for is the Yankees and Rays, but we won't get into that until tomorrow. So, okay. But for now, I predict a split in the Braves National Series.
Sounds good.
I changed my mind, but that's my initial pick.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with the Nationals taking 3-1. Why is that? Because they are, you pointed out, Darren, these guys are in it right now. It is a dogfight with the Phillies, and hey, the Dogs aren't the easiest team to beat. You know what? Who knows if they're going to know that or not know that. They may pay attention, they may not, but all I know is they want to win this thing, and they want to win it bad. The Braves, great team, all right? They're leading by 7 games right now, but they're the best team in the East. But my gosh, if Washington gets some kind of a lead or gets something going on here, I mean, that can be shrunken down to as small as, and think about how awesome this is, guys. If it was chopped to 4, that would be down to a 3-game lead if they were to do this thing, if they were to sweep them. Now, I don't think they're going to sweep them, but I think they can get 3 on them. And if that happens 4 games, I don't know. This could be really competitive. A split would be awesome, too, but we have some awesome NL East action this weekend. Let's see how it goes. So, with that, Taryn, it is now off to some auto sports. You ready to start your engine there, brother?
Yes, sir. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Alrighty, man. Well, here we go. On to some auto sports this past weekend. I mean, seriously, can we just hand the freaking trophy to Mercedes for the manufacturer and to Lewis Hamilton for the the driver standings. I mean, seriously, this is kind of just getting stale. I mean, hey, 80 at the win, okay? He is 20 away from 100. Lewis Hamilton, if he wins this thing again, that'll be his 6th title. He'll just be 1 away from Michael Schumacher. I want him to win it because he's an incredible driver. I would love to see him win 7 or 8. Don't know if he's going to stay around that long. And it was in his mid-30s, but still, man, the guy is just a great driver. I don't know. I just feel like right now he has a great opportunity to win this year. Duh. I mean, the point standings are almost pointless to look at right now, but we'll look at those momentarily. I guess going over to the Formula One standings, courtesy of the Formula One app, the F1 app, but it's just kind of pointless. He is leading with 223 points, and the closest to him is his teammate Valtteri Bottas with 184, and the closest to him is Max Verstappen with 136. Max Verstappen has 1 victory this year. Yeah, I think Bottas has like 1 or 2. Hamilton has the rest of them. I mean, seriously, this is over. Mercedes, let's take a look at the constructor standings real fast. Yeah, Mercedes is leading with 407 points, and Ferrari, which has totally nosedived this year, is at 243. And the closest to them is Red Bull with 191. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this season is pretty much done, even before the summer break coming up next week, unless something crazy happens. Crazier things have happened, but it is what it is. Seriously, Taryn, if you even want to comment, I mean, anything to say about Formula One?
astounding to see this. Like Lewis Hamilton having 7 wins and 9 podiums as well, and the point differential between he and his teammate is quite astounding. You know, and Bottas having 2 wins and 9 podiums as well is pretty impressive. You know, podiuming, if that can really be classified as a word, is honestly good in my opinion. You know, many people want to, if you know, the old saying goes, if you're not first, you're last, is definitely true. But, you know, to me, placing bronze, silver, or gold is just as good. Because honestly, you know, at least you get a medal. If you're 4th, then you don't really get a medal, honestly, unless you agree to the other 3rd place representative that you don't want to play a bronze match, or if you want to share the bronze. But other than that, you know, Lewis Hamilton is I'm just flabbergasted at that. So hats off to him. Bottas, you know, Mercedes is looking good, and you know, Verstappen only having 3 podiums and only 1 win and only 136 points. That's a little shocking. But other than that, you know, hats off to Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
Or Mercedes.
Absolutely. They're getting it. Yeah, Mercedes is on it right now. Like I said, it's safe to say that it's pretty much over with. But yesterday, or actually on Saturday night, the Quaker State 400 at Kentucky Speedway. What a great, this is courtesy of the NASCAR app I'm getting my sources from here. What a battle. Down to the last lap. Kurt Busch, who is now currently 7th place in the points, has took a chomp into the lead now, only 128 points back from the current leader, Joey Logano, would edge out his brother, Kyle Busch, and that monster machine, I forgot the number, but gets it done. Kurt Busch, man, this guy, I think it was his first victory of the season. Last week we talked about that craziness that went on with the rain delay and all that. Not going to get into that whatsoever, but hey, he had a great car last week, could have won it. If it wouldn't have been for the rain, guess what? He got it done this week. He wins it. First career victory. Oh, sorry, his 31st career victory. And his first of the season. He takes the checkered flag in the 2019 Quaker State 400 at Kentucky. And the points will go as follows. We only got like 30 minutes left here, so I'm going to go rapid fire on a lot. We're going to go rapid fire on a lot of these. But on the bubble right now, the wild card drivers, Eric Jones and Jimmy Johnson, both 16 and 15. Then we have from 14 to 10, or 14 to 11, Clint Boyer, Kyle Larson, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney. From 10 to 6, Eric Almirola, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. Then we have from 5 to 1, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and of course the current leader and the defending champion from last year, Joey Logano, with 446 points. Any thoughts on this before we go ahead and dive on in to next week? Because next week, y'all, we're going to New Hampshire. So any thoughts, Mr. Taryn?
So it's great that Kurt Busch managed to get his first victory of the season, and his Chevrolet also passed post-inspection at the Kentucky Speedway. So that's very awesome to see Kurt getting his first win. And he's actually behind Logano, believe it or not, when it comes to overall points. He's got 4 wins, and he's placed top 5 11 times. And according to the 2019 standings, he's only 11 points behind Logano. So there's that. It's pretty good to see him excelling just like his brother as well. So that's my take.
Absolutely, and great stuff. I mean, hey, on to New Hampshire for this week. Next up, we got a few more races, guys. I mean, I forgot how many we are, but hey, I think it's up in August and September. The playoffs begin, the NASCAR playoffs. So next up, all right, IndyCar. Yesterday, if you didn't catch it, man, USRN, great calls, a four caller podium, or whatever you want to say. Awesome job, Mr. Matt Owens, Mr. Seth Eves, Mr. Matt White, and Mr. Darrell Kinsey Jr. Great call there of the race. I was listening in as best as I could. I was listening in there, and what a race it was. Honda, Indy, Toronto. Simon Pagenaud. How about this guy, man? Simon Pagenaud, champion from 2 years ago, I believe, will win this thing. Great job. It is his 14th career victory and his 3rd of the season. He takes the checkered flag in IndyCar Toronto. Great job to him. And really, he's just looking great right now. IndyCar is as unpredictable as it gets. I love this series because of its unpredictableness. They're off to Iowa this coming weekend, so really excited for that. And as of right now, the quick and dirty standings, courtesy of the IndyCar app. Go ahead and download it. Awesome app. So your current top five. Will Power, 128 back with 306 points. 306 points. Sorry, that's 306 points, guys. Scott Dixon, 348 points at 86 points back. Simon Pagenaud now jumps up with 39 points back at 395 points. Alexander Rossi right there within 4 of Joseph Newgarden, the leader. 4 points back with 430 points, and then Joseph Newgarden with 434 points leading the charge. Your thoughts, Mr. Taryn?
So, Simon, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Simon Pagenaud of Team Penske. Yes. Yeah. Apparently, he's in the first class, and as you also said, Alexander Rossi and Joseph Newgarden are there. So shout out to USA. Scott Dixon is also second in the class. So Simon Pagenaud is definitely. There's not much really separating the top these top racers. The top 8 there's only 31 seconds separates them. So it's quite astounding, according to what I'm seeing in this IndyCar 2019 Toronto. But shout out to Team Penske. They're looking strong. So Simon Pagenaud is doing his, like I said, doing his thing. And like I said, the gap is not that large. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that, honestly. And yeah.
Hey, 2 months to go in the season. It's up in September. He's got plenty of time to get there. We can have a very interesting title race at the end here. So, next up, at the end of the season. Next up, of course, in the NHRA, just gotta say, man, awesome Mile High Nats coming up this weekend. You know me, y'all. I love me some NHRA. Such a big NHRA fan. Actually, yeah, the Dogs Mile High Nats is courtesy of NHRA.com. Can Steve Torrence do it again? Because this guy is on a freaking spree right now. This guy is absolutely incredible, man. He's just winning it all. Can he do it again? He was the only driver to ever sweep the playoffs last year in Top Fuel. Well, first driver to ever do that in any class. And guess what? He can do it again. He's leading right now by 479 points. Okay, 400. Sorry for the language, y'all. 479 points is leading over Doug Kalita. Okay, yeah, that is huge in Top Fuel. In Funny Car, right now, we have here Robert Hight, Team Force, baby, leading John Force, which is, Team Force, with over 176 points right there. Close first and second right there. Robert Hight doing his thing. I mean, he's just done so great this year. We also have Pro Stock, which is really sad because I haven't seen a lot of Pro Stock this year. As Daryl said it before on the extra mile, they're just cutting a lot of those races out. Really sucks. But Bo Butner is leading over Alex Laughlin with 148-point lead. So I'm not giving you the actual numbers, guys. I'm just kind of trying to go fast here. And then we have Pro Stock Motorcycle, which really sucks too because they cut a lot of those races. But Andrew Hines leading by 86 points over Eddie Krawick. So that's what's going on right now as we head on over to we head on over to the Mile High Nats, a mile high in Colorado. I really want to see John Force get a win this week. I really do. The man is so close to 150 wins over his career. I want him to get one. Of course, y'all know I'm a gigantic Brittany Force fan, so will she win one this week? I really hope so. If not, will Steve Torrence continue his dominance? I mean, seriously. So, yeah. Any thoughts here on the NHRA, Mr. Taryn?
So yeah, I'm looking at the standings right now, and Steve Torrence is definitely the head of the class with 1,278 points, and it's quite phenomenal. Next racer up is Doug Kalita with 799, and then Antron Brown with 781, and then I would like to see Brittany Force win a race too, because
yeah,
good to see the women drive in the NHRA as well. I know we definitely want to see more women excelling because girl power all the way for the most part. So, and being top 5 is definitely nothing to sneeze at. So hats off to Brittany Force. hopefully she can get a win. I definitely would like to see her get a win, just like you said. But, Steve Torrance, 1,278, man, that's just crazy.
He's getting it, man. Of course, Courtney Forrest, the champion, not last year, but the year before that, Brittany Forrest would win the NHRA Top Fuel Championship in 2017. So she's just an incredible driver, and, one of my favorites. I love her.
Yeah, she's from Orange County. Shout out to Orange County.
Yeah.
She's from Yorba Linda.
They're from Yorba Linda. The Forrest family's from Yorba Linda.
So shout out to Yorba Linda right there. So, Orange County is pulling for you, Brittany.
Absolutely. So, anyway, okay, so let's see here, about 25 minutes left here. Any more chop up on the NHRA, good sir?
Not at the moment. Steve Torrance is, like I said, is definitely the head of the class. It'll take a lot to topple him.
Absolutely. I mean, and Top Fuel, that is. To leave the top of the class over there, Top Fuel. But next up, like I said, we got a champion to crown. Y'all, this is awesome. Congratulations, man. Yesterday, Formula E concluded, actually not yesterday, 2 days ago, I think, or was it yesterday? Formula E got down, and the champion, or the season concluded, and congratulations to Mr. Jean-Eric Vergne for winning this year. I don't know how many titles he's got, but great ups to him. Incredible job. He'll become, let's see here from a news article here, courtesy of BBC Sport. It says he becomes the first double champion. So I don't know how long Formula One's been around. I don't think it's been around too much. But what a job. He got it done. So we'll get the victory there. And looks like the team champion here, courtesy of, let's see here. So, what an incredible job by him. And, I mean, really just... how cool is it to be the first one to win? I mean, really, think about that real fast, Taryn. How cool is it to be the first one to do it back-to-back? Or maybe not back-to-back, but to win two in a fairly new series?
It's quite amazing, whether in any sport, but, that's quite astounding. And, you said two in any sport, it's crazy, man, And, did you also say back-to-back?
I don't think he went back-to-back, but I think he's the first one to win two.
Okay, well, then it's still quite astounding. You're one ahead of the rest. And it's not just one big logjam for being for having the most. So, you're one ahead of the rest and maybe two ahead of others. But, hopefully others will get the motivation to try to catch up to him. You definitely want to see the competitiveness in any sport, whether it's like Formula E or any other racing division.
Absolutely. And then next up, of course, the winner of that race yesterday in New York would be Mr. Fringe. So Fringe wins this thing. He will win the race, so congrats to him. And then the champs here, good old Wiki helped me out. Look at that. Looks like Audi. So, Audi Sports ABT Scheffler will win the constructor this year. So, congratulations to them. I think that's how it is. And if I'm not mistaken, my apologies. But you will catch much more of that on the Extra Mile on Thursday evening. So, to Lolita over there, probably laughing her butt off at me, trying to talk some Formula E right now, because I haven't really been into the series. But I just wanted to recognize them. For this, of course, that was our last race last weekend, so of this year. So congratulations to, of course, all of the winners. And like I said, just awesome stuff there by all the drivers. Incredible job by it was Audi Sport ABT Scheffler was the Audi Sport ABT Scheffler for the Constructor Championship, and then it looks like Jean-Eric Vergne, I don't want to butcher his name, but will win the championship. So first ever to win two. Don't know if it was back-to-back. Congratulations to him. And that will do it for the Formula E season. Next year, I've got to get way better at that. So anyway, that'll do it for the Autosports section of the show. We've got like 20 minutes left here. So let's go ahead and crunch it and talk about some NWSL. Yesterday, my gosh, National Women's League. Guess what? An incredible game. There were goals all over the place, but at the very end of the game, I think it was like right at the very closing moments, we had an equalizer. which was incredible. We had an equalizer, like the 90th minute, or right around there, and wouldn't you know it, the Portland Thorns, being as dominant as they are, these ladies get down, and right at the end, like literally, y'all, like right at the tail end of this, I think it was like 5 minutes of stoppage time, and then the 4th minute of stoppage time would be the goal. Right at the end, looking at courtesy of the Portland Thorns FC, it says "at the death." So right at the end, at the death scores the go-ahead goal in stoppage time, and that, of course. I mean, honestly, just what an incredible goal it was. Let me see, I want to go ahead and retweet this right now. It looks like Tyler Lucy will score the game winner, like literally at the very end. Portland Thorns will win this thing, and they just do what they do. So in the NWSL, I mean, these ladies have just proven, pay these ladies, all right? They're the champions, and U.S. soccer, of course, are doing their thing, back-to-back champions now. I mean, 4-time overall since U.S. since there's been a Women's World Cup. Thorns on Sunday, 4-3 over the Pride. The Thorns now find themselves 1 game back. Actually, no. Tied in points. They're now right there. Okay, they're both 6-4-2, along with the North Carolina Courage with 22 points. I mean, seriously, the Pride is near the bottom. They're 8th out of 9 teams right now. 2-2-9, and they only have 8 points, but they gave one heck of a fight. But the Portland Thorns, just your thoughts on this performance, Taryn? And then on top of that, how awesome is this? I had to point this out too yesterday. Record-breaking crowd, awesome. 4th biggest crowd. Okay, history was made today. 4th biggest crowd in NWSL history. Tweeted here by the NWSL yesterday. You can check them out on Twitter at NWSL. 18,909 in attendance. It's the 4th most. I don't know what 10,000 plus minutes is. I guess how many people were there for that long. I have no idea. But 4th most in NWSL history. I mean, seriously, Taryn, what do you think?
So that's quite the astounding number, and I'm glad soccer is getting recognition from most fans. As for the Portland Thorns Orlando Pride game, that was a very, very back and forth game. To me, soccer is a game of momentum. If you score first, you get the advantage, but if you can get that equalizer, you basically level the battlefield. So honestly, I was very impressed with this matchup, but Portland Thorns being the dominant team that they are, whenever you're a dominant team, you can't lose, because one loss could put you behind the 8 ball for sure. So Portland getting the game-winning goal and still remaining on pace with North Carolina is quite astounding. Goals for is definitely is like a difference in is like 3 between North Carolina and Portland. As you said, the points are equal, the wins, draws, and losses are equal, but goals for and goals allowed are totally different. So the Portland Thorns I can possibly see I can see them overtaking North Carolina at some point, and the Seattle Reign is also good, and the Washington Spirit, that's what you were probably thinking of
earlier. Yeah.
They're looking solid too. So overall, it's still a pretty tight race from 1 through 6.
Absolutely. So fast forwarding now over to the MLS. Yesterday, my gosh, we had a great one. 2 great games, Seattle and Atlanta. This guy, Joseph Martinez, I heard the announcers talk about him yesterday, he's up and coming. He had a goal yesterday and it was awesome. He had a header and didn't even celebrate. He was like, hey, we need to freaking get it up. I don't care. That goal is whatever. We need to take the lead. The guy is a competitor. But regardless, Seattle Sounders, champions from a couple years back, will defeat last year's the defending champions, Atlanta United FC, 2-1 at home. Seattle getting a nice victory there. And then we can't forget about the Hudson River rivalry. New York Red Bulls taking on NYCFC in a game that was just extremely controversial. Referees, I even forgot what the issue was, but my gosh, we'll probably hear all about it on the Soccer Scoreboard show on Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. But my gosh, I mean, a goal that I think VAR was involved. I have no idea what happened. I seriously forgot what happened, but regardless, the Red Bulls win this thing. There was a penalty kick that was given, and I think, of course, that was the entire issue was. But in the let's see, in the 60th minute, Daniel Royer will score the penalty kick, and there it was, victory. The Red Bulls will jump up from 6-3. That's how close the East is right now. From 6-3 in the Eastern Division. If the playoffs were to start tomorrow, to steal a page out of Nico Green's book there, out of the NHL, from the Neutral Zone, we'll be back, by the way, at the end of September. He let everybody know that he's ready to rock and roll for some hockey coming up for this year for the season 6 premiere of the Neutral Zone. But we have here in the current top 6. We have usually, of course, the top 6 go. So right now, if it were to be the top 6 in the Eastern Conference, it would be Philadelphia, which is playing great this year. DC United, the New York Red Bulls, Atlanta United FC, Montreal, and NYCFC. That, of course, lost that game yesterday, but they're still in it. And then in the Western Conference, LAFC just doing their thing. Seattle has moved up now, oh my gosh, over the Galaxy into second. I'm pretty sure that's the result of yesterday's game would do that. The LA Galaxy, my team. Minnesota United FC, which is doing really well. From their first season a couple years back, they were horrendous. This year, they've gotten a lot better. This is awesome. San Jose, the Earthquakes, and then Real Salt Lake. So your thoughts right now on these... your thoughts right now on the current standings, and your thoughts on maybe that game yesterday.
So yeah, the New York Red Bulls definitely picked up a big win over New York FC. You know, it's a huge difference between winning and losing a rivalry game. I'm pretty sure I believe those two are rivals, if I'm correct, considering they're both from New York.
Yes.
So picking up a big win in a rivalry game is crucial because, you know, when it comes to rivalry games, you got to throw out the records. Trust me, I've seen a majority of rivalry games go either way. So New York Red Bulls definitely deserve a tip of the cap when it comes to that. You know, Philadelphia is playing really well. LAFC in the West looks really good, and the Seattle Sounders are up there as well. And the LA Galaxy, shout out to former, I don't know if he's currently on the team, but shout out to Jack McBean from Newport Beach, where I'm from, or Corona Del Mar. So shout out to Jack McBean. You know, as for the Galaxy, they're doing well as well. You know, the West is pretty close from 2 to 7. 2 to 7 is very close. So it can go either way. You know, I like seeing tight races, but, you know, LAFC is dominating the West, and the East is very close as well. So from one down to from 6 is very tight, so we'll see what happens.
That's the playoffs this week, no doubt about it. I don't know if you want to pick a game of the week, but my game of the week is for dang sure El Tráfico. Going up this Friday, LA Galaxy will be hosting LAFC. Rivals right there, automatic rivals. It's like Clippers and Lakers, okay? It's just Rams and Chargers. It doesn't matter. The Battle of LA, y'all. This is amazing. I'm so excited. Let's go, Galaxy. I'm so excited for this one. Any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, that was pretty much going to be my game of the week, too. You know, and you know, that being a rivalry game, you know, it can give either one of those teams momentum. But, you know, it's more so the Galaxy don't really have much to... They don't have much to lose, but they have a little to lose, but a lot to gain. LAFC can only boost their lead, so they have a lot more to lose than the Galaxy do. But you know, the Galaxy would definitely benefit from this win. You know, I could see the Galaxy winning that game. And like I said, rivalry games, just throw out the record.
Absolutely. Coming up this week, there's nothing really too intriguing in the NWSL, but I'm going to go Royals and Thorns on Friday. Royals are currently, Utah Royals are 5th right now. Thorns, of course, they're coming off a huge win at second place. Let's see if the Royals can give them a run for their money. We shall see. What do you think, Taryn?
Yeah, we'll see what happens in that game, You know, to me, soccer is a game of momentum. The more offensive possessions you get, and the more the ball is in your possession or in the front field, the more chances you get, and the more chances you get, eventually, those kicks will go into the goal 9 times out of 10.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. So coming up, by the way, we have the ICC, the International Champions League. This could be short and sweet. The table is all set. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, the teams who will be participating: Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Bayern Munich, Fiorentina, Guadalajara, Las Chivas, of course, Inter Milan, my team, Juventus, Manchester United, AC Milan, Real Madrid, and Tottenham Hotspur. This is going to be awesome. It all starts tomorrow. Fiorentina will be taking on Guadalajara. That should be a really fun game. And like I said, it all begins tomorrow. 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Don't have the full schedule for you, but I'll be keeping up with this as much as possible. I know it's just the preseason, basically, for all these teams who are getting ready to start in the fall. But still, what a cool tournament every year for these teams who don't really ever get to play each other, ever, unless they're in this tournament every year, or this cup. It's a tune-up kind of a tournament, but still, what a cool tournament to have every year in the summer before the leagues start every year, right?
Definitely, yeah. And it's kind of like a little bit of a dress rehearsal, where it's a preview, like a little bit of a preview. So I like tournaments like that. It gives like that competitive vibe, and definitely to like the start of the season. So I definitely like tournaments like that, and I hope a lot of teams can benefit from it. And they don't get to play each other that much. That's having to play each other right now. That's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. So with that said, man, let's go ahead and jump on over to let's see. Oh, of course, this week, don't forget, in the for the Apertura 2019, the Liga MX will begin for Liga MX Apertura 2019 will begin. Puebla will be taking on Tijuana. Will be hosting Tijuana, and then we have Atlas taking on Juarez. So it looks like they were relegated up. Cool. So that will be the first two games for the Mexican League this year. You're probably not the biggest Mexican League fan, Taryn, but hey, this will be your first year to cover it with me, man. You excited?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I said, soccer is a game of momentum, and, soccer is definitely one of the more underappreciated sports, in my opinion. So I would encourage more people to watch it. It's definitely a fun sport to watch, and, other than, like, the flopping, it can be a bit fascinating to watch, and it's certainly, this game of soccer is certainly starting to grow on me. So I look forward to seeing some soccer action, and also check out Gabriel Montoya on the Soccer Scoreboard.
Oh yeah, Soccer Scoreboard show coming up this Friday. Going to be a good one as always. So let's go ahead and change gears now on over to Wimbledon, man. I mean, short and sweet. What an incredible job, man. Simona Halep and Djokovic, both of them doing their thing. I mean, just jump right into it, Taryn. Your thoughts on this week, on this year's tournament in Wimbledon?
So the final between Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer was just astounding. It was like a heavyweight boxing matchup, back and forth. There was no true clear-cut favorite until Djokovic managed to pull away in the final set. So it was very amazing, but seeing two legends, Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer, just going at it. Like I said, it's like a slugfest between those two, except with rackets. And then Halep being Serena Williams, that was pretty amazing as well. Halep, it looks like Halep was kind of the favorite, but Serena Williams is obviously a living legend. But I didn't expect the score to be that much lopsided. I didn't expect it to be like a quick two sets, being 6-2, 6-2. Yeah. So hats off to Halep on that one for beating Serena Williams, because being Serena is not easy in my opinion. So you get a lot of kudos if you beat Serena. Absolutely,
and I feel like Serena is, without a doubt, I mean, she's amazing. She's proven herself to be. She's one away from tying the all-time, and one away from leading all-time ever in Grand Slams. I mean, this woman is amazing. That should never be. Nobody can take that from her. She's absolutely amazing. But just what a incredible job by her, and what she's been able to do, and just. Yeah, tough go for her, but yeah, Simona Halep, hats off to her. She did a really good job. That's her second Grand Slam that she's won. So I think she won the French Open earlier this year, or the Australian Open, I think was last year. I forgot which one she won, but I think it was the Australian Open last year. But don't quote me on that. Anyway, real quick, we do have Our tennis show coming up next Monday. Don't forget to catch it. USRN's very own and now part of the IE Sports Radio family. Matt Owens and Cal Vandergrift. First serve next week. Time to be announced still, but great stuff. We're looking forward to a great tennis show. Moving on forward, we have here some fun stuff with tennis, with the U.S. Open, last major of the year. And then, of course, let's go on to my notes. For Simona Halep, like I said, that was her second ever Grand Slam. First ever title at Wimbledon. And for Novak Djokovic, that is his fifth. He won in the fifth set tiebreaker, which is really cool. So I guess it's never been done. But 16th Grand Slam and his fifth at Wimbledon. So there you go. So quick and dirty, y'all. I know we only have like 6 minutes left here, so I want to kind of roll through this. So real fast, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the cut man himself, Mr. Gilbert Batista, to the show. What's going on, brother? How you been, man?
How's it going, man? It's going good, man. I can't complain.
That's good to hear, brother. I'm glad to have you. Like I said, we only have like a few minutes left here, so I'm going to let you have this, dude. Seriously, the entire thing. Pacquiao Thurman. It's going down this weekend. I mean, seriously, man. Are you freaking excited? Give us the ins and outs. Who do you got and why?
I believe it's going to be Pacquiao. I'm anxious to see where he's at physically, if he's lost a step, if his speed has diminished any. I think he could do it. I mean, there's a big challenge. I mean, let's remember that that's how Pacquiao made his name against De La Hoya, so it's a big opportunity for Keith Thurman. But there's something about his injury that I don't think he's quite back yet. Mentally, he's talked a lot of stuff leading up to the fight. I think it's so he can get himself amped up for this fight, but I think it's kind of a risky proposition for him. Yeah, Pacquiao's older, yeah, he's shorter, but I think his experience is going to carry the day.
I think so too, man. He's a freaking warrior. I mean, I do feel that he has every bit of momentum that he can going into this fight. Yeah, he's 40 years old, but why do you think he wins, man?
Honestly, I think it's the experience. I mean, he's fought everybody. He's taking on guys that can move. He's taking on guys that can punch. He's taking on guys that go forward and don't take a step back, and he still has been able to beat them. I think that if Keith Thurman has a chance, I think it's if he gets Pacquiao's timing, much like Marquez did with when Marquez knocked him out in their last fight, where he got his timing and he caught him coming in. I think that's the only shot that Keith Thurman has. He's a big power puncher, but he relies on that a lot. Let's remember that Keith Thurman took on the Ghost Guerrero, and the Ghost gave him some trouble, and he wasn't the fastest guy out there at the time, and he still gave him trouble. So I think that Pacquiao, with all his movement, with his combinations, he can beat Keith Thurman.
Absolutely. I agree with that as well. I mean, right now, I do think that experience will take over, and that's that. So this past weekend, by the way, too, I don't know if you got a chance to see it, Gilbert, but we had some featherweights go on at it. Great job. Mr. Ray Vargas will defeat Kameda. I don't want to butcher his name, Kameda, but he will hold on to his WBC junior featherweight title. Were you able to catch that, or you know anything about that fight there, Gilbert?
I wasn't able to catch that. I kept trying to look for it, and I couldn't find it, so I didn't get to see it. But I know it was a great fight. Some of the fans didn't like it. It was kind of a controversial kind of thing, but it seemed like it was a great fight.
Well, it works for me. So we got a couple minutes here to go. So, Taryn, quick and dirty, man. Give us about like a minute's worth. What do you think, man? Thurman versus Thurman and Pacquiao. Who you got?
So when I first saw this, I was surprised to see Thurman undefeated. But honestly, Manny Pacquiao, Manny is Manny, obviously. You know, he's got, like Gilbert said, his experience will probably carry him to victory. And, you know, more importantly, you know, I can see Manny just wanting to he wants to be the first person to hand Keith his first loss. So, and I can see it happening because Manny is definitely strong and you know, he's loaded with experience. As for the Vargas Kameda fight, you know, Ray Vargas is undefeated at 34-0, and he has 22 KOs. So that's nothing to sneeze at. And Kameda's 36-3 right now with 20 KOs. So you know, he tried to hand Vargas his first loss, but you know, Vargas was just too strong And, you know, he won the judges over. So hats off to Vargas on getting the KO and making and punching the lights out.
Hey, that's it. So, we got a minute and 30 seconds to go here in the show. So, with that said, Gilbert, you got Pacquiao. What's the decision?
Can you say it again?
You got Pacquiao. What's your decision?
I think it's going to be a knockout.
Knockout? What round?
I believe it's going to be, if he beats him, it's going to be early, because I think the longer it goes, it favors the younger guy. So I think about the 6th round, I think Pacquiao can get him. But if he doesn't and it goes long, I think it's going to be a good fight for Keith Thurman. Because let's remember, Pacquiao has had cramp issues. So that's an issue for him. And I think that if it goes long, Thurman has a shot. All right, well, let's go ahead and do this. What do you call it? Taryn, we got like literally under a minute. Final decision.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to pick Pacquiao. You know, he's definitely got to finish it early and often because, you know, like Gilbert said, the longer it goes, the more it favors the young guy. And, you know, I definitely think Manny Pacquiao has what it takes. But if the longer the round, if it goes like past 5 rounds or so, you know, I could see Thurman winning, but my pick is Pacquiao.
I agree. With that said, y'all, for Tara Rodriguez, for Gil Bautista, for myself, Larry B, I'm taking Pacquiao and unanimous decision. We'll see you next week there, y'all. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.
Oh, listen.